Three, two, one. Hello and welcome to episode 236 of Ruse Radio. We were just recording for a couple minutes and I forgot to push a button. Can you believe that? How unprofessional. How unprofessional.
I'm leaving. I'm out.
Get out of here.
But I'm gonna ride your Cranbrook bike out of here. Just see me pirouetting down Rogers Park in a blue Cranbrook.
That's why you said the 8-mile thing. I didn't know.
You looked slightly confused when I said it, and I'm like, does he not know what I'm talking? And then you started quoting 8 Mile, and I'm like, he gets it, but why did he look offended?
I didn't know that the bike ever said that.
Yeah, so for context, he has a bike that says Cranbrook. We just talked about him being from Michigan, and I was like, did you go to Cranbrook? I heard that's a private school, quoting 8 Mile, and he was like,
I thought you saw a book.
And then you just riffed on like the next 3 lines. You're like, it's Clarence. Clarence's parents? Clarence got really nice parents.
I'm an expert at rolling with it. I had no
It was just
clue.
that look. You're like, and I was like, did I just say something offensive?
You must really like 8 Mile.
The cat didn't react. I'm like, it can't be that bad if the cat didn't react.
But anyway, hello and welcome to the episode. We got a very special guest. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Anthony Bonazzo. I feel like I'm doing a voiceover demo. Anthony Bonazzo.
Yeah. Age, sex, location.
No. Or, at Amway, our insurance company, and you have to pretend like you're like not annoyed that it took you 15 takes to get to this one thing that you're not even going to get a
Yeah, right. We're talking about cruises though, and you said you have done a cruise before. You were about to tell me how the last cruise was.
So I've only done one, but I'm leaving Friday for another one. So the last one I did was in November. You basically go out for 4 days, and then you come back, and then you drop the people off, and then you pick up new people, and you do the same cruise again.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
So you just see all the same shit.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but it's also fun because you feel like you graduated. Like when I first got on the boat, I had a full-blown panic attack because it's just like 3,000 people in the lobby, like get me a pina colada.
Yeah.
And it's just their luggage, and you're just like, get me out of here. Yeah. I freaked out, actually. I had to leave the boat because you get on the boat at like 1, but you don't leave until 5. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't just be standing here. So I tried to get in my room, and they're like, sir, the room's not ready yet. So I go to the area where the room is, and it's a stateroom. So it's like not like a crew room. So it's like a regular room. And I get like trapped between these two hallways. And this guy comes out, he goes, what are you doing? And I go, I'm one of the entertainers. I'm just trying to get to my room. He goes, oh yeah, your room's that way, but the room is locked. And I was like, can you let me back out into the lobby then? He goes, oh, so sorry. You have to stay here for safety purposes. And he closed the door, and I was now trapped between these 2 walls. I felt like it was like in the movie Saw. I'm like,
for safety purposes?
I'm like sweating. I've got all my bags. This lady comes out. She goes, sir, are you okay? And I go, I'm trapped. And the guy told me it was for my safety. She goes, why? And I go, I don't know. She goes, just get out. And she opens the door for me. I go around the corner. My room is ready, by the way. So I just sat in like solitary confinement for 35 minutes for no reason. And then I just threw my bags in. And
Put you in timeout.
Yeah. And then I go back outside, and I go, what time is this boat leaving? I was like an angry like corporate guy. I was like, what time is this boat leaving? And he's like 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, I gotta get off this boat. I can't take it.
Wow.
I'm like, this is not gonna be good. So I just like left. I went outside, I got a breath, and I just collected myself, and then I was like, all right, I'm good. I just needed that moment because it's a lot at first. Like visually, you're like just taking in everything. The boat's huge. You don't know where anything is. So that's the kind of the cool part about it is the first 4 days you become like the master. Like you figure out the whole layout. So then when the new group comes in, you're like, suckers. Like you know everything. Like you know where the elevator is. You know where to go. Like times to eat. Like you have it all figured out already.
You're watching them get lost,
right?
Like you did like 5 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it is kind of overwhelming because you're like moving in for like 4 days if you're them, and then you're out. So by the time you figure it out, most of these people are getting off the boat. Yeah. So the first 4 days were it was very relaxing. And it was like chill people that were cool. Like I actually made a lot of friends. We got like meals together, hung out after the shows together. But then the next group was like, well, we only got 3 days. We got to get wasted. And it was like this party crew. There was like thefts and stuff. I'm like, what is happening? I felt like I was on the Titanic, but like on cocaine. Like,
man, I wonder if the cruise ship people have to deal with like different crowds all the time.
Oh yeah, and there's like a whole untapped world that I don't even know about yet. Like
that's what I've been told.
Because the crews like have parties, and I actually asked the housekeeper. I was like, "What's up with these parties?" And she goes, "What do you mean?" She played dumb, and I go, I know about the parties. And she goes, oh, second floor, we smoke. Come by at 2 a.m. I'm like, why did you just lie to me?
So she didn't know if you were cool.
Yeah, so I showed up by accident one night. I was finishing my show and I heard like, we are like someone's playing guitar and I was like, where's that? And I'm like, the guy's like, where are you going? I go to the bathroom. He goes, no, you use the crew bathroom. And I never use the crew bathroom. So I walk in here, and then as soon as I walked in, they stopped playing. There was like a fireplace. I'm like, how is there a fireplace on a crew? Like it was in the secret back room.
In the
and
bathroom?
they're all like, no, it was like the crew hangout area.
Oh, I see.
They're like, hey, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, they just stared at me, and I went in the bathroom. As soon as I went in the bathroom, they started up again. I'm like, they must think I'm like the principal, So I wasn't gonna be like, you guys want to hang out? So I just left. But you meet so many people that it didn't matter that I didn't get to hang out with the crew. I'm like, I feel like I'll go back on that ship eventually, and they're like, oh, this guy, I remember that guy's face.
Yeah. Someone told me that there's just different cruises for different people, and like different types of cruises attract different types of people. Like cruise culture goes way deeper than I thought it did.
There's people that I met on the cruise that were literally on their 5th in a row of the same cruise.
Right. Like,
so like
what
they would
the
leave,
fuck is going on there?
Like, Florida, Bahamas, Coco, Cay, whatever the private island is, back, and then back to Florida, and then they just stay on the boat 5 times in a row.
Right.
I actually stayed in touch with a guy that I became friends with, and he's like, yeah, I've been cruising for 3 months. And he actually convinced me. I didn't believe him at first, but he convinced me. He's like, you're actually saving money. Because he's like, when you get into like the cruise like ecosystem, it's like Apple products. You're actually saving money because like you'll get like the credit card, you'll get the offers, and then the offers are incredible. So you're getting, most of the time he's getting free cruises from these offers, and then he goes to the casino and he wins money, and then he gets more offers for like food and beverages. He's like, I've been on 3 cruises for free.
It's like the guy who figures out like prison's actually not that bad.
Yes, but this is so much better than prison. You can shower alone, and it's just wild to me because then I talk to other people and they say the same thing. Like, oh yeah, we save money on food, electricity, rent. And I didn't believe it. And now, like this week, I was like, I can't wait to get back on the water. I got to save money. I'm getting my electric bill. I'm going out to eat. Like all the things that you don't realize like add up.
Yeah.
And then you take that out. So what's your most expensive things? Like food,
right.
Rent. Like my rent's already paid for January, but like food and stuff, I still got like 3 weeks to go. So I'm going to basically have like almost 2 weeks of all meals. Anyway. It's arguable whether or not it's saving money, but it's definitely it's a nice little break into the routine of life to be able to like stop what you're doing here, go live in this other world on the water,
yeah,
and then come home again, and then reset, and then go back out again.
Is the comedy audience different? Like, is it a different type of audience, or is it kind of just the same thing? I
mean, I've only done the one line, but they were a lot of fun. And it was in a theater, and they were super fun. A lot of people came back to the shows, and I had fun.
Fun. We love fun here on Ruse Radio. I try to have a fun time every time I record these episodes, so you have a fun time when you listen to them. And the only way I can keep doing that 10 times a month, an episode every 3 days, the only way it's possible for me to keep this fun a-rolling is with your support on Patreon. So please consider it, folks. $5 a month, the price of a coffee, the price of a beer at the bar, and you get the joy of knowing that you are helping this show grow, that you believe in this show, and you're proving it to me because, hey, I need some proof, and the proof is in the pudding. Not to mention, there are perks of this Patreon. 1, you get my music early. You hear it before anybody else. 2, you get exclusive songs no one else is ever going to hear. It's only there. And 3, you get exclusive conversations that only occur on that Patreon. Some podcast content, if you will. So all that stuff is just a plus. The real thing is you're making this thing better, you're making this thing happen, and you're helping me follow my dreams. Enough of you do this, and I can quit my day job and just entertain you, just give you more fun. All right, let's hear some more about these comedian cruise ship escapades.
So like that was what was cool. It was like, wasn't like a regular show, like where you go do the show and then you just go home. There's people that are like, hey, we're going to get pizza. You want to come? Like, and then you see them the next day and they're like, oh, we'll message you. Like, so like you just build like a little community on the boat. So that's why it was kind of sad, because I made all these friends on the first cruise and then we dropped them off and I was like, I'm alone again. Right. And then all these weirdos were like, let's go dancing and do cocaine. They were like older and I'm like, I don't know if this is not my crowd, but I still met some cool people, but it just was like kind of bummer, because when you have that like connection, and then you have this new group that's like you're not connecting as tightly with, and you're like, man, I got 3 more days of this.
Yeah.
It's weird how lonely it can get, how quickly it can get lonely. Because like sometimes I would like walk into my room, or I'd get up in the middle of the night to pee, and I'd look out the window, and I'd have to like stop, and I had to close the curtains, because you're just like in the middle of the ocean. There's not like a light or a land. And it was kind of a little bit overwhelming, where I was like, it's peaceful though. Cause like when we would stop and like go out on like, on days where you're like able to get off the ship and stuff, you would like walk around and like there would be, it was so weird because I'm such a maniac. So like the first day I was like, I gotta get off this boat. And then when I'm off the boat, I'm like, I gotta get on this boat. Like you're just so sick of people and land. You're like, get me back on that. There's something that's like, I don't know what the word is. It's like a nice escape.
Yeah.
It's different than a vacation, because you're literally like away from everybody, and then you're also with this group of people. It's kind of hard to explain. I also didn't realize how dizzy I was until I got off the boat.
Sea legs?
No.
No?
It was like on the boat, I was like dizzy all the time. And then when I got off the boat, I was no longer dizzy. I didn't have any like weird like sea leg thing. I just was like, oh, I've been dizzy for like a week. Right. Because the second nights we were there, they actually had to reroute the boat because there were such bad waters. So it was choppy. So a lot of these people got sick. And I thought I was like a wuss. So I was like talking to people. I'm like, am I being? And he's like, no, man, my wife's been on the floor for 2 days. She's been throwing up. Whoa. And I was like, oh, really? Like, so like I'm good. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I'm a mess. Because I was actually at the gym when it first happened. Like I was walking around and I was like, woo. And I looked over and this guy had his hand on his head. And I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one this is happening to. And he's like, no. And then I met these 2 girls after a show. They said they got sick. So that night I went to, because I had off, I went to karaoke, and I walk in and some girl literally is singing the song from Titanic. And I'm like, this is probably not the right song choice. Right. And nobody was thinking it was weird. Everybody was just like, near, far. And they're swaying, but they're not swaying by choice. It's because the boat is literally rocking them. And I'm like, does anybody else not think this is the wrong choice? Like, and everybody's like, what's the matter? This is a beautiful song. And I wanted to go up and just request an instrumental song, or it's just the violins playing, and then just go out and be like, gentlemen, it's been a privilege playing with you this evening. And literally quote the movie when everybody dies. But, anyway.
What would make somebody choose a song like that? You'd have to be a little self-aware.
I don't know. Clearly not.
At least.
Let me get to, we're in the worst waters right now. It's choppy. People are vomiting. I got just the song.
Right.
Celine Dion, cue it up.
Kind of fucking psychopath.
I called her out on stage, and I think she was at the show.
Yeah.
So she's texting a friend that I made on the ship, and they're like, and he shows me the text. She's like, oh my God, the comedian's on stage making fun of me for singing Titanic. Which was hilarious, because like you forget how small the ship is because it's so huge.
Yeah.
It's like 15 floors, right?
Yeah.
So you don't think you're going to run into the same people. So this one time I was like walking to like dinner or something, and the elevator wouldn't come, and these people were like stressing out about the elevators. Like they would they'd hit the button like 12 times. They'd pace the hallway. They'd look up. She's like, have you seen this thing? Like they're like it's Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I made fun of her. And then after the show, the same woman came up to me and she goes, hello. And I was like, hi. And then someone's like, great show. And I'm like, have a good night. And I just turned and started talking to them.
How many people is on a cruise? It can't be that many people.
Oh, it's a couple thousand.
Oh, so yeah, it is kind of odd you're running into all the same things.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Packed like sardines, I guess.
Yeah. There's a lot of funny stories that like stuff like that happen. Like, you see people and because you're just like walking through public spaces and they're like, hey, and they'd quote like a joke.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. But like the last night we were getting pizza, and this guy, I guess like right after the comedy show, there was a Toga party. So everybody was dressed up in like Greek, like togas. So this guy, we're eating pizza. Me and these people we met after the show are eating pizza, and we see this guy walking by and is with his wife. They're clearly inebriated, and like he's got like the Caesar, like green, thing on his head, and they're both dressed in white. And he's trying to stop to like say hi to me, but she doesn't see him, so she's yanking him. And there's soda on the floor that someone had spilled by the pizza. And he goes, "Comedian!" And he's coming to shake my hand, but he's now doing like a full split because she keeps walking. And then she comes over to like stop him, and like it literally was like the Flintstones. It was like like her feet, and she goes down, and he captures her like butt cheek and like pulls her back up, and just I don't know if this is like pissed him off, but everybody laughed. I was like, more like a seizure salad, am I right? It just came out, and everybody starts laughing, and they're just looking at me like they have no idea. Like the Cranbrook look, like what are they? They can't even process what just happened. And then he just shakes my hand, but like not even a shake. It was like an embrace, and I kind of helped them up, and then they just kept walking to the party. I'm like, I think you probably should go back to your cabin.
I think he handled that
Toga
well,
party.
by the way. That was a good. I mean, that's actually pretty slick.
Yeah.
If you ask me, good reflexes.
So then
He
we're,
just didn't like getting roasted.
so we're eating the pizza, and then we see her, "Hello," and we're like, "What the hell? What's going on?" And we look over, and she's like, "I can hear you." And I forgot that after the show, I had met this blind woman and her husband, and the women I'm with are like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, she's blind and she can't find her husband." And I walk up and I'm like, "Do you need help?" She goes, "Tell my goddamn husband that I've been waiting for 30 minutes while he gets his pepperoni." So I have to literally go into line and be like, "Tom." And he's like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "Your wife needs you." And he goes, "God bless this woman. I'm trying to get a pepperoni." I walk back. She just has her cane. And she's trying to find him, but she's like walking into the wall. And I have to like spin her around. I'm like, "He's right there. He's coming." And then he comes over and he goes, "Damn it. You have no patience." She goes, "Let's go." So then they just are walking away while he's eating pepperoni. I'm like, this place is wild. So by that point, I was tired, and then we had to pick up. Then we picked up the new group, and it was like the party group. So my energy level was already zapped by that point.
Yeah. The fact that it's even a party group, like, did they coordinate and all just go on a
Sometimes
cruise
people are going on
together?
like a birthday, or they're whatever they're doing, like a celebration. It's a lot of different things. Some people are just leaving, get away, or there's just the cruisers that are out there for months at a time. So
Are the next cruise is the same one? The one? you're
no,
doing?
this one's going to like a couple different countries, and then also another place that I've already been. So it'll be a little bit different, which is nice because I don't want to just do the same thing again.
Yeah.
But I am doing the same one again in like March that I just did. But
Oh, and you'll meet your friends again.
I think it's gonna be all different people.
They'll play music with you in the room this
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Hopefully, no Titanic.
You're right. I mean, I've heard too that cruise, like for comics, it seems like cruises, corporate gigs, stuff like this. That's where the money really is, and then obviously travel. Like that's the stuff you want to be
you want
doing.
to be like touring and getting TV gigs and stuff. But in the interim, it's really good money. So
Yeah,
it's like
that's what I'm told.
It's like a nice cushion to like have. It's just like anything, right? So like I'll do clubs when I'm here, and then I'll do cruises, and then I'll do clubs when I'm here, or gigs or whatever, and then cruises. And it's like you're just constantly sort of like flip-flopping between what's paying you and what's not. And sometimes there's going to be a dip in one, and I'm just thankful that I have this now to pull me out when one. It's like a seesaw. Like 1 minute your gigs are down here,
Yeah.
and then it's nice to put the cruise on this other end and lift you back up. And it's just a constant up and down. And it gets more consistent. It's definitely gotten more consistent over the years that I've done comedy. And this is probably the most consistent, but it's never like, and I don't know that anybody ever truly feels like I feel comfortable. Like even
Doesn't seem like
even
it.
Jay Leno was doing an interview where he's like, "Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to lose all my money," and he's got like 97 cars in the garage.
You're
I'm like,
Jay
I
Leno.
think you're okay, pal.
Yeah.
That's just an ingrained like neurosis that he probably has to work through with his
Right.
therapist. So I think I'm actually pretty smart about like being able to be like, all right, you know what? I've got a little extra money this month. I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to treat myself to this. But I never go over the top because I'm always, when I moved here, I moved here with nothing. Like I think I had $2,000 to my name.
When was that?
2016. No. I moved here in 2008. Like roughly beginning of 2008, end of 2007, beginning of 2008, and the job that I had taken didn't start. Like it got delayed, for like 3 weeks. So I was just watching my money disappear, and I wasn't leaving. I was barely eating.
Do you have savings or no?
No, that was it.
Oh,
I
man.
saved $2,000, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and somehow it worked, but it wasn't good. Like I would never probably do it again because I started a career that like is all based on like commission. So I had no business when I moved here. I had to build my business, and then that just wore me ragged. I was working like 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. every single day, and then on the weekends. And then eventually it built up, and then by that point I was so burnt, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I took like this full-time job, which paid less, but it was like consistent money. So it was the worst conundrum to be making a stable income but also be miserable in the process and not really feeling like you're doing any better. You just know you don't have to like hustle.
Yeah.
But then I realized like that hustle doesn't really ever go away if you want to do what you want to do and you want to be your own boss. So that's like I branched off on my own with training, and then comedy just sort of like happened. There's no real like genesis or beginning to it. You just do like a gig. You do well, you do another gig, you do well. I got a lot of good things right off the bat in the beginning, and then I got like nothing. So it was kind of like the worst because I got like a Zany's Rising Star showcase, and I did really well, but it took me years to get booked there to like actually where I was getting paid. And then so when that happened, you're like, oh, I want to do more. But back then that was the only club in town. There really wasn't the Laugh Factory or Comedy Bar wasn't really around until a couple of years after that. So I think it's the landscape now is a lot easier. I think it's a lot easier to get into places now. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier to diversify yourself because there's so many different opportunities now, and the internet and TikTok and Reels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like I came in it at the wrong time, but I'm also thankful because I feel like I've gotten so polished from like having to be so creative, and now you have to be creative in a different way.
Well, and it's all out there so quickly. Like I feel like back then you could kind of get polished and you could fail and it wouldn't feel so in the public eye.
Right.
Whereas now it's like you're kind of failing in front of everybody.
Well, that's what's weird. I think everything is so much about volume now that people are just putting themselves failing as like a reel to put content out. And I'm like, why did you post this clip? There's nobody's laughing. It's just like, it's like, oh, numbers, baby, gotta grind it. And I'm watching this video, and I'm like, that's either like a laugh track that you added, or like that just sounds like you're at a funeral trying bits, So
and you want to book her to see that?
Yeah,
like, is that what you want?
But I see the reasoning, right? The reasoning, right, is that like you want to put content out, you want to flood the algorithm. I get that. So I'm trying to find like how to be a happy medium because I'm such a perfectionist that I don't want to put a clip out unless it is a perfect response.
Yeah.
The crowd is blowing up. There's some crazy thing. And unfortunately, you got to wait to get the clips. You could record it on your own. Then you got, every club has like a different nuance about it, whether they, want you to collaborate with them or they don't want you to post it from a certain show. And then you get the clip, and then 3 weeks later, and then you sift through the clip, and there's only like 3 jokes that maybe worked. Mm-hmm. It's hard. You literally, people don't always see like the behind the scenes stuff that happens, with like being successful, and it's like an ongoing all the time.
When there's no right way to do it. And nobody's actually telling you like what you're supposed to do, and it's all kind of a guessing game.
Yeah, there's no HR.
Yeah.
Like there's no benefit. Like you're the CEO, the president, but you're also the product.
Yeah.
So it's like you're running every department, marketing, and like you can take your foot off the gas pedal if you want to take a break, which is I think healthy and smart. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes you take your foot off the gas pedal, and then you're like, oh shit, like now I'm like 20 days backed up. I got to get back and do this, and
Right.
So, but it's fun too because it's like, what's the alternative? Going to a job that you're miserable at, or sitting in a cubicle all day that you hate and getting your soul sucked? I always try to remind myself that it takes a long time to develop like the Zen mentality of all of this, like of trying to find the joy in it when there's a lot of unjoyful things happening, whether that's like drama in the comedy scene, which is like, it seems like weekly someone's trying to stay relevant with anything and everything that they can, rather than just their sheer talent. Like it's always like, I stubbed my toe and this open mic post didn't help me. it's like there's always something.
Don't go to that mic. Don't go to that mic.
Stay relevant by being relevant. It's like it's like there's so many things that like newer comics I see are trying so hard to like stand out and like be visible online and have an opinion about something that has nothing to do with, or they're like pontificating about Dave Chappelle's special. Like, shut up.
Right.
Like, just nobody cares. Like, literally, you have to just like realize literally nobody cares.
I've had that epiphany so many times in my life. Like, wait a minute, it doesn't matter. Like no one cares. And not in like a pessimistic way, but just it's kind of a beautiful thing. Like, no matter what you do, like the people who are loud and act like they care, they're usually pretending and they're just trying to make noise. Like, most people just don't care.
Oh.
They have their own life. Like, think about your life. You have so many things going on all the time.
Yeah.
Like life is constantly happening to you.
Right.
So how the fuck are you going to care about this and this and this and this? And like, it's a beautiful thing when you apply it to yourself, because then it's like, well, I guess I could just kind of do anything then. Like, it doesn't
That's the
really
beautiful
matter
part about it, right?
Yeah.
So like most times people make a post like, oh, I can't believe I haven't seen this lineup or this and such lineup or such and such lineup. I'm like, the subtext of your comment or your post is, why aren't they booking me?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
just be honest that you're not being booked and that's what's bothering you. You don't really care. Maybe deep down for certain situations you might, but the reality of is you're saying, why aren't they booking me? You know? And it's like the moment you're publicizing, why am I not being booked? Why are they not booking me? You already look bad.
Right.
Because I've never written a post and been successful. I'm like, why isn't the Chattanooga Chuckle Hut booking me? Like, if I'm a booker and I'm seeing this, am I booking that guy now? I'm like, oh, he's a little bitch. I'm not going to book him.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, just pen to paper, grind away. You're a business. Just thrive. Like, that I think people forget. They're always looking for the approval of like this invisible caste or judge system that doesn't even exist. Back when I started, it did. Like, all the COISK guys and everybody wanted to do COISK.
Because there were actual gatekeepers.
Yeah, like everybody wanted to succeed. Everybody wanted to do that show. It was the one show. Now there's like 100 bar shows, and
there, like I said, there was actual gatekeepers. There was an actual guy who could block
there.
you, blocking a gate.
it's just to me, it was always just so funny to me that how limiting your goals were from the get-go, that was like the only thing that you could see yourself wanting to do. And I think that never changed, especially in Chicago. It's like, everybody wants this thing. They want the approval of the scene. They want to be seen around the scene. They want to be well known, and they want to be embraced. But the reality of it is, none of those people are paying your rent and signing your paychecks.
Right.
So like, you have to have the gall and the wherewithal and the kind of the courage to step back and be a lone wolf a little bit and be like, this is a business and I don't need any of them. They're not buying my tickets. I need to figure it out, and I'm not perfect at it. Like, I'm really good at writing. I'm really good at rewriting. I'm really good at taking chances. I'm really good at failing, and I'm really good at being creative and original and grinding. But I'm not great at the other part, which I'm trying to like implement more.
Like the sales pitch
like
part.
the sales and getting Instagram followers. Like, I feel like there's two types of comedians. If you look at it, it really breaks down to like two.
Yeah.
It's like either the person that is, you're just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like, the people that are posting the clips, they're bored. They have a pipe dream. Their mom told them they're special. It's not probably going to happen for them, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If they're happy, let them be.
It's almost like they're role playing.
But then, when you take a step back and you really look at like a bird's eye, like people who are doing comedy, there's like really good writers. Like, that guy is solid, or that she's amazing. Like, I love her style. And then, but like, you never see them on social media. They don't even know how to post a photo, let alone a reel. It's like the captions are all screwed up,
Yeah.
It's usually people my age, And then you have like the young kids they do one joke that murders at the Laugh Factory, and it's every reel on their page, just a different venue. And you're like, you have 6 minutes. Like, why are you milking that? Like, go write more. Because like, what happens when you get like an agent or something, they want you to start touring or doing bigger things or a special, and you've got 6 minutes. Like, so I don't know if I'm going on a tirade here, but my point is, like, when you take an eagle eye view of people, there's people who have talent and there's people that don't have really the talent, but they have the knowledge and the wherewithal to really, really be plugging themselves. They're always out there. They're always like, come, I'm headlining like this bar show in Kansas City at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Like they're getting gigs. You're like, wow, what? And like they've got millions of followers, but they're just not like the best stand up, but like business wise, they're out there. So it's like finding that way to take the left and the right and merge you into the one. And that's now comedy. It's like you have to be all of that. And maybe that's going to change. Right now it's crowd work and like all that stuff. And maybe that thing that we're all working on, we're all trying to post a crowd work clip. Maybe next year it's going to be, something completely different.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of be, it's like marine mentality, like adapt or die. Like you're like literally in the ocean. We're all floating around together, to use the Titanic reference. We all have these life rafts on. We're all just trying to figure out how to make it.
Yeah.
But the dumbest thing is to stay in that circle with 20 other people drowning together. It's like, get out and try to go get your own help,
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of like both sides could learn from one another, and a lot of the time you'll see like those great writers, they just hate the idea of learning social media or learning to promote themselves in that way. They
Well,
look
you
at
gotta
that
learn
as
to edit
like,
too. Like
exactly.
you're editing all this. Like this like is like would give me a panic attack trying to learn this. But it also probably gave me a panic attack trying to figure out CapCut the first time. And now I think I'm pretty good at editing clips. They're not amazing, but they're enough to like pump out 2 or 3 a week. I didn't want to learn how to do all that, but like look at certain people that like during the pandemic they thrived because they were already like ahead of the game, and now they're popping up and they're all over the country and touring and getting shows and stuff. So that's the cool part, is that what I have to keep reminding myself is that as like much of as frustrating it is and annoying it like some of these things can be about the business, literally anybody can do it, anybody can quit, but anybody can succeed. And that's the most exciting part, is that like at any moment, like this happened to me, granted this was 2 years ago now, but I was just at work and I got a message on my phone, and it was a request, and I was like, it said like some name. I was like, this is probably a porno bot or spam or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was Michael Shea's agent from Saturday Night Live, and she's like, hey, we want you to open for him. Are you available?
Wow.
And I was like, yeah. I just wrote, yeah. So I thought it was fake, And then she goes, great, send me your email. So I sent her my email, and then like an hour later, I get an email from the offices of Saturday Night Live, and I was like, holy shit, this is real.
Yeah.
And I thought the whole time it was fake, and nothing. I mean, I did it, and it was an amazing show. I got to hang out with him. I got to hang out with Hannibal and all these people that pop by. Nothing really happened after that, but like what is supposed to happen after that? Exactly. I got a couple of questions answered. I asked Michael Che when we were back there. I was like, hey, man, I'm like, do you guys actually read the packets that we submit? Because I've submitted 2. He goes, oh yeah, we read all of them. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Because I used to just think like I was submitting this packet into the ether and it was never open. He's like, yeah, we read all of them. And I was like, okay. So that made me feel better.
What is it when you submit a packet? What do you mean?
Somebody posted, there's a Facebook group that's a writer's Facebook group that I just happened to join one day, and someone posted Saturday Night Live is now doing an open packet casting call. So you can submit a packet, and it's rigorous. I would say of the 5,000 people that liked this post, 3 people actually had the work ethic to complete it, because it was not easy. It was like 27 pages. You had to have it written in the style of screenplay from a specific app, and you had to download it as a PDF with this label, this page labeled this way, this page labeled written this way. And they said, if you don't do it in this way, we will not ever open your packet. So I had to literally go through this packet like 10 times before I hit submit to make sure that everything was labeled properly. And I'm like, there's no way some comic who's coming home from Cole's Bar at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday is just going to have the work ethic to do this. I'm sorry.
That's why they did
I
it
barely
that
had
way.
the work ethic, and I'm like, and I was so committed to the packet, know? So it's a good way to weed people out, And that's where I really am starting to like see is, probably like a good shift probably for me personally is like into the writing and finding like a job involving writing, because I just feel like that's, what I do. That's was my major. I've written, in magazines and stuff. So like I enjoy the writing part of it. So getting like a writing job is like a crutch and a support network, and then doing stand up versus trying to rely all on stand up, because there's amazing opportunities in writing, whether that's for a show or what,
And writing steady. That's an
Yeah.
actual job.
Yes, it's like everybody that I've talked to. Even I worked with Rosebud Baker over the weekend. She doesn't work for SNL anymore. But she's like, I said, how was your experience? She's like, unbelievable. And I thought it ended poorly, and she goes, it was incredible. She's like, you wake up, you get in at 9 a.m. with the funniest people in the world, and you're just at a round table coming up with ideas. She's like, it was like a dream job. And I was like, well, why'd you leave? And she's like, oh, I just want to do more stand up. I want to tour, and there was nothing bad about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Because we're always looking for like, oh, what was the drama?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's no drama. People are just, and how cool to be in a position in your life and your career that you can be like, oh, I wrote for SNL for 5 years. I'm good. Mm-hmm. To be able to walk and into the next thing confidently. And she's touring all over the country now. She wrote a book. I love her, and I think she's amazing. So like the fact that she's, that's a cool model to follow.
Somebody from Second City just got hired by SNL as a writer. I can't remember what their name is, but I remember I just saw it just recently. Like they're writing sketches for SNL. And it's like one of their recent hires of this past year. So, and I wonder, like, do they have writers? Just you don't have to move out there. You can just stay in Chicago. It seems like
I think you have to move out there.
Oh, okay.
You might be able to do like a hybrid thing, but I would think that you would probably want to be in New York. You know what I mean?
For a writer's room and that whole thing, just the idea of a writer's room. But then again, like I see more and more of like virtual writers' rooms and this thing where it seems like writing for shows in general, it seems like the industry is trying to adapt to that for better or worse, Not even just comedy writing, just writing in general. Like a lot of these Netflix shows now, they'll do this where it seems like they don't even have a writer's room. It seems like they have people who create the idea, like whatever the creators of the show or the studio heads, whoever it is, they kind of plot out a season and then they just kind of send out scripts to people to write. But they don't actually, it's not like there's a writer's room. That's the traditional way, where we're all in a room, we're brainstorming together, and you're going to write the script.
Right.
That's how in my mind, that's how it should go. But it seems like now places are adapting. I don't know. I doubt SNL's doing that. And it's interesting to see SNL change over time because, it's always been changing. It's been a dynamic thing since the start.
Yeah.
So SNL is a monster of its own in a sense.
Yeah, it's a whole other world.
And it surprises me how strong it is of a goal for comics because in my mind, I thought that SNL used to be this big thing and it's not as big anymore. But I guess I'm wrong.
It seems like it's coming on like an upswing.
Yeah, I hope so.
The quality of writing and everything seems to like have flipped a bit.
Yeah.
But you're right. Historically, it has always been, I think, everybody's secret goal, whether they admit it or not. I would love to write or perform, in any capacity for them.
Because it kind of is the top of the mountain.
And the only other thing I could think of as like the top of the mountain for a stand-up would be to host it too. Like your stand-up and you're hosting. That would be a really awesome achievement too. But
I think they're only like you're saying, I think they're only a couple great cast members away from having that cultural relevance they used to have. Like I really think some great writers, some great cast members that just bring the cultural relevance back to the show. Because it's not like the show's not popular. I just think the show's more of an in crowd now than it used to be.
Yeah, I think once the political divide happened, more pronounced than it ever has before.
And they picked a side.
Right, and that immediately people are like, oh, I won't watch that liberal bullshit, And like no one's gonna watch it anymore because of X. Versus like back in the day, it's probably been pretty even keeled as far as who they make fun of. But you got, like you said, you got to choose a side now, and it's interesting. But again, going back to like tying it all together, it's like I think that's the cool part is that like you don't have to put SNL as like the mountaintop. You can, right?
Yeah.
But like you can also put yourself as the mountaintop now.
Interesting.
And that's kind of cool. Is that like with this career, it's like at any moment, at any point, in any clip, in any reel or any private DM that you get from anybody, your life can completely change.
And the thing you said earlier about the whole Michael Che opportunity, it makes me think because I think people think of success as like there's just going to be a switch that's going to flip. And then one day I'm going to be successful, and that's how it's going to go. And that is so not how it works. And like from any successful person, they'll tell you that's not how it works.
That's why I love the hat. It says overnight success, 12 years in the making.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whose hat is that? Is it you?
It's just
Who does that?
Yeah, that's my merch.
Yeah.
No, it's just a hat. It's like a poster. It's like a meme too. Like, and it's just true.
Yeah.
Because like, it's just, it's like exercise, right? It's like you get healthy by making a cumulative amount of healthy choices over the course of a few years, and people see you, they're like, oh my God, you look great. Oh, I'm walking more, I'm eating better. Like you're doing all these things. And from a career standpoint, like sometimes I have to take a step back because like, I think we all want and we want and we want as comics. And that's why I try to make sure that I'm not a vulture comic. There's a lot of vulture comics that hit my messages up, hit my DMs up, text me. How do I get this? How do I get this? Who do I contact for that? I need to do this. I'm lost. I need help. Like I'm not anybody's therapist. I think I've been pretty kind to people, but like in 2026, I'm like, no more. Because what bothers me is like if you're gonna reach out to me for like advice or an email or whatever, and then I give it to you, and then you leave me on red. That to me is like you may as well just come up and just punch me in the nuts, because it's like you basically just took what you needed and ran away and never was like, hey, thanks or anything.
It was
anything.
Entirely transactional.
Yes, any level of etiquette. It seems to not exist with comedians. And I think people forget that as much as you are as a business for your material, so your material might suck, but if you're not a shitbag of a person, you have a better chance of getting booked.
Yeah.
I have people that Second City used to always say, we don't want to hire an asshole. We'd rather hire a person with less talent than somebody who's a pain in the ass to deal with. Comedians don't realize that actually means you too. Mm-hmm. If you're annoying, if you're sending out emails, if you're harassing the booker, there's so many garbage people that like I've come along, like I either hear stories about or have personally happened to me, in the scene that like with our interactions of just like, wow, like everybody thinks you're an angel, but like you're a horrible person.
Yeah.
The way you just talked to me or wrote me a nasty message, like unprovoked about whatever. And it's like, it's just funny how people forget that like, you think that I'm not going to share that?
Right.
Like if a booker, like not to be petty, but like if a booker's like, hey, I was going to hire this comic. I heard some stories, like I hate to be a dick, but like you ever see The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
The janitor, he goes, I go through your lockers, I read your notes. I am the eyes and the ears of this institution, my friend. I've been around a long time, okay? And I've dealt with a lot of bullshit. My crevice of like tolerance is so low that if somebody calls me up with like, I heard this person's a piece of shit, should I book them? And I'm like, they're a piece of shit. Like I will verify it. You know? And it's like, you did that to yourself, by being rude to the staff, being toxic to other comedians and thinking it wasn't going to get back to them. Trust me, sweetheart, it got back to them.
Yeah, and unless that person is extremely talented, it's
and
always,
that's the thing.
Even then, but it always comes back to get you.
Again, going back to that Second City example, even if you are talented, how many comedians can you think of on your hand right now if somebody was a piece of shit to you to do this podcast?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Your hand would go up so fast.
Someone once told me of their burn me once rule, and I think that's such a great way to look at it. It's like just if somebody burns you once, that kind of tells you all you need to know. Because, I mean, it's kind of true. Like, and the thing is, people are naturally duplicitous. It's the way that we are as humans. So I don't blame anybody for being duplicitous, but I do take note of it, right? So it's like, you can just, and I think we all have a bullshit meter in our mind. I think that's another thing, our bullshitometer, if you will,
right.
Where it's like, you just know what's real. And if somebody does something like that and you take stock of it, well, now I don't trust you so much anymore. Now I don't know how real you are. Because, you might present yourself as this person, but I saw that and I can never unsee it. And that's the type of stuff that I think that people, these are the same people who tend to, like, it's on the smaller scale, these are the same people who complain about not getting booked. And these are the same people who find problems in everything because Of course you aren't. And of course you have problems because you are not carrying yourself.
You're the problem.
Yes, exactly. It's like that's the energy you are putting out into the world. So of course it's coming back to you. And I think it's just like, I just hope for those people, they will learn that lesson eventually and they will figure it out and they'll crack the code.
No, they probably
But
won't.
people don't tend to change. Yeah.
No.
People tend to stay the same. And
Yeah.
that's the sad truth of it. Is like, you don't want to make judgments about people like that. You don't want to think of people that way, but the people are just the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's the universe is the way it is. Nature, a snake will bite you whether you like the snake or not, so you just gotta learn to spot the snake.
And I used to think that it was me, and maybe I used to think it was actually everyone, but I think I'm learning, maybe it's not, maybe it's just me. I just think I'm pretty intuitive. I like to think that most comedians who are good are also intuitive.
I think you have to be.
You have to be, because you're in a room full of people and you're trying to see what are they finding is over the line. You're constantly reading their reactions. Like,
Yeah.
you become like a little bit of a magician, right? So like,
Or a
you're like-
psychologist, a
yeah,
little
you're like, oh, okay, that's too much for them. Let me show them that I'm not an asshole. Let me show them I'm a good person. Let me show them my good side. And then when I have them, I'm going to flip into something totally dark or inappropriate. And it's going to be so jarring that by that point, I've already buttered them up that they like me, that I'm going to get away with this now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to open with a Holocaust bit. A lot of comics put this like pride badge on, like, I'm going to open it with my dead dad and Holocaust and rape and abortion bit at this,
Give him 10 minutes
this corporate fundraiser, and the guy got mad at me because he said to keep it clean. I'm like, bro, this is my comedy. Love me or
Have you
don't
seen
book
me before?
Yeah. I kill at every mic. It's like, so they wear this badge of honor, and it's like, guess what? And this took me a long time to realize too. If you go up and you're doing a set, like, the set has to be for you, right? In some way, like, you have to be gratified by it, but your goal is to connect and make people laugh. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you go up and you're like, I see people go up to like this template, like, I got to get through this joke, and then I get to talk about my mom, and then I got to talk about dating and Tinder, and then I got to go back to the callback that I do, and then I have to do that funny crowd work interaction where I go, you guys like that one, right? Like, and they have like these moves that are like predetermined improv things.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you might go up and you have a set in mind and something else happens and you riff on it, and guess what? Like, it's about making people laugh, be entertained, and connecting with people. And if you've done that, you've done your job. Like, it's really simple. But like, so many comics think that like they're so brilliant that I've got to get these 3 brilliant jokes that I just posted this reel the other day. I was doing the back of a coffee shop and I murdered. I've got to get this bit out. And then they go do the bit that you saw them post on the reel that they're now doing on another reel, and it doesn't do well. And you're like, that was an opportunity for you to abandon that, realize it's not the same crowd every single time. I always make the joke, audiences are like a different partner, like in bed. Like, what works for that one person, that might not be their move.
Yeah.
They might want to slow down a little bit, use a little finger or tongue, blow on it, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
It's selfish of you to be in bed and go after every partner like, this is my move. Like you're George Costanza. Was there a knuckle involved? Like that? Like that move might suck for somebody else, and that's what makes it so fun. Is that literally every single night, the thing that works might not work, and you got to be ready. And most people aren't ready, and I think that's what separates people, is having so many reps and so many chops to be like, oh, these 30 things didn't work. All right, where else can I steer this ship?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's no steering the ship. And you call it up for what it is. But as long as you tried, and as long as you attempted and you took a chance and you didn't phone it in and then just blame the crowd and whatever, and you kept those 2 things in mind, I'm here to entertain and I'm here to connect. And it's like, it works with anything. It works with improv. It works with acting. You can't go up and do an improv set and be like, and have a predetermined thing that you're talking about. It's connecting with you as my scene partner. Where are we? What's our relationship? Forget if people are responding.
When in improv, the failure is even more immediate, I feel like, because as soon as you
painful.
disconnect from that scene, everybody knows. As soon as you start to serve yourself, and as soon as I mean, that's like the beautiful thing anybody could learn from improv, is that you are constantly trying to connect. There's no other choice.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even get to be yourself in that way.
And there's beautiful moments with improv. Like when I went into improv, like you could see like a nervous person come out and they're just like, anal.
Yeah.
Like, what? Calm down. What are you doing? And then someone else would come out and be like, Dad, we need to talk. And I'm like, what is it, son? And like immediately I'm invested, and you can feel the crowd is invested, you know, and that's what people are like, oh, crowd work sucks. And no, your crowd work sucks.
Yeah.
Like you want to hate on Matt Rife, you want to hate on whoever you want to hate on.
Yeah.
They're doing it well. And it's like, and who cares? That's one chapter out of like this giant book. You don't like that chapter? Go make your own chapter. That's what I mean about spending so much time like judging what other people are doing or how they're doing it, when it's like, why are you exerting that level of energy? Again, I'm not perfect. Like I'm sure I've done this in the past or still struggle with it, but it's like don't fixate on the thing that someone else is doing that they're successful with doing.
Yeah, because it's not.
You're not
actually,
even successful.
Yeah,
You know?
right. And it's not actually taken away from you. Like if Matt Rife is doing great with crowd work, and even if audiences are primed for crowd work and they want crowd work, the best thing you could possibly do is yes and that, and then move into your act. And if you really are against it, make your act so strong that we're not even thinking about crowd work by the time you're done, because your act was so good that that didn't even cross my mind.
Right.
But instead, it's like, oh no, it's dragging the whole art form down. And I can understand. I mean, I think, and I think that with a lot of things. Like I think that with storytelling. Like I think storytelling is the standards are so much lower than they used to be, and I strongly believe that. Like I just don't think that the people who fund things and the general audience is expecting the same caliber of storytelling that we used to get. But the solution to that isn't to say that everything is bad and that storytelling is just bad and that's what it is. The solution is to write better stories. That's what you do. You make better things so that way people remember what that is. If you really think that, like, oh, comedy used to be better, comedy used to be about this. Okay, so remind us.
Right.
Remind us what it's supposed to be then.
Yeah, the good old days. Well, that's what's funny now too, is like people are like expressing their like or dislike for comedy like food. To me, it's like, I don't care if you don't like spicy food, just don't eat spicy food.
Yeah.
Now we've given this like license
It's like everybody's a vegan.
to comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
to comment on it and be like, oh, this comedy sucks. Like, we don't, like, okay, like you could have saved that comment and just scrolled to the next reel.
Yeah.
Like, it was 2 days ago, I posted it wasn't even a joke. I got like attacked on Threads because I wrote, in my lifetime alone, I've heard people pronounce milk and pillow. And people were like, this is a rage bait. What kind of comic are you? You're a hack. And I'm like, what? Like, what kind of anger levels are we dealing with? This is like where you immediately went that way, you know? And I'm like, this is insane. I'm like, and I just was like, oh, I don't think it's necessarily, you can't just blame it on your dialect. If you're from Skokie, you've just been mispronouncing milk and pillow your whole life. And then that turned into like a war with this guy who told me, he's like, you need to research Nate Bargatze. He's a successful, good comedian who does bits about this. And I was like, okay, bro, whatever you say. But it's just like, you know, it's funny because it's like, now you can't almost say anything without getting attacked, clearly. And then people are expressing their content and discontent with your comedy style, which we don't even need to know. You can just swipe and scroll. And then two, people all agree universally that comedy, stand-up specifically, is the hardest thing to ever do, but people are the first to attack you and tell you how bad you are.
Yeah.
And it's like, you are in your mom's basement and you can't even do a public speaking exercise for your corporate teams meeting from your laptop because you're having a panic attack. Like, come talk to me. Like
Yeah, and it's, I mean, just general rule, it tends to be the people who have never done something that have the most to say about it. With comedy in particular, it's actually maddening to me because there's this giant swath of people online now that their whole thing is just to criticize the comedy scene. That's their whole thing. And there's channels just dedicated to this. Like, I don't know if you've seen these comedy drama channels on YouTube. I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid them if you know of the people that they talk about just because it pops up. And it is, oh my God, dude. It's literally, you just can tell by watching it. It's people who have never met a comedian. It's people who have never even tried comedy, but they have everything to say about all these comedians, and they hate the entire comedy scene, essentially. And it's kind of like if Red Bar just had a bunch of babies, and all of Red Bar's babies were out there. Like, that's what it feels like. And Red Bar is the OG. Red Bar's loud because he's been doing it forever. But all these guys... Come on, dude. Like, come on.
You ever hear the man in the arena quote? Mm-mm. This is my quote of all quotes. And I usually will just either post this if they talk too much shit, or it's my own, like, personal thing that I just will read to myself before I just kindly log off.
All right.
You ready for this?
Yeah, center me.
Should I read it like in an old English?
Yeah.
It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Wow.
That's a great quote. That's Theodore Roosevelt.
Damn.
A man in the arena.
Shout out Teddy.
Yeah. I'm just going to start posting that meme every time somebody comments. Go watch Nate Bargatze. Go read Teddy, you schmuck.
Yeah, man, that's a great quote. He said it way more eloquently than I could ever say.
Yeah. Well, back then I think we did. Now it would be, how would we write this for today's audience?
Shut the fuck up and try.
Yo, it's not the guy with 400 followers. Hashtag subscribe and follow. You have no idea how hard it is to get to 10K. Shout out to all my peeps who follow me on the reels.
You never posted and got 10 likes before.
Yeah. You went viral after one triumph.
He who posts and gets 10 likes knows failure.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know the grind.
Yeah.
Hashtag won't stop, can't stop.
And, you know, those people are always going to exist, too. That's the other thing. There's no use in responding or even giving it any
and
weight.
I do, which is dumb.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But I can't sit back, especially when it's, like, really personal.
I kind of just take them as a joke.
Oh, I don't know if we have time for this, but this
we got
happened after I released my first special in, I think it was 2022, and it didn't do like amazing, but that's how I got, I think, the Michael Shea opportunity was that they saw a couple of my clips from that special. Mm-hmm. And one of the clips went viral, and somebody commented like, oh, this sounds like an earthquake joke from like 93. And I was like, well, I was 15 not doing comedy in 93, so I didn't steal it. I wasn't even doing comedy then, and I didn't even really watch a lot of earthquake stuff until like the last 5 or 6 years. So this guy writes me a private message. He's like, you're like a hack piece of shit. And I was like, oh, cool, thanks. Have a good day. Like, I'm trying to like just get out of it. I shouldn't have even responded. And he goes, no, I'm not joking. It's hack pieces of shit like you that boil my blood. I'm a touring, well-known comedian, and I'm going to take you down. And I go, let me look up your stuff, BRB. So I look it up. Can't find anything. Guy's on Netflix, but on a TV show as like a small role. No comedy specials. So then I type in his name in ChatGPT, and it comes up, and it basically says he was an aspiring but failed stand-up comedian.
Damn.
So I copied that, and I pasted it, and I sent it to him. I go, oh, okay, I found you, LOL. I said, don't be mad at my success. And he goes, that's it. You have 1 hour to take it down.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay, whatever. So I didn't take it down, and I wake up. This dude has taken like all the most professional editing equipment and uploaded my clip, uploaded the earthquake clip from 93, merged them to overlap to show the similarities, but like really edited it to make it look way worse because the joke is pretty different.
Yeah.
And posts it on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's everywhere. And I was like, I was like, you have a lot of time on your hands.
Carlos Mencia'd your ass.
He thought it was going to go viral. There was like 3 likes.
You're right.
4 people were like, yeah, fuck this white motherfucker. And then someone wrote, these are not that similar. Good try. And then I didn't know what to do. And I had met Roy Wood Jr. a couple of years back at a show. And occasionally we will text, like I'll ask him about something or ask for advice or something. And he responds. And he called me when he got my text from a cab in New York City. It was like a gangster version of Roy Wood Jr. He goes, "What the fuck, these motherfucking comics?" He's like, "I had this bullshit. Hold on, 45th and Harlem." Like he's literally in a cab, and he's like, "Anthony," he's like, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do damage control." He's like, "We're gonna see how this shit plays out. Give it 24 hours, and then call me." Like he was like, he had my back. I woke up at 2:00 in the morning to an apology email in my DMs.
What?
I have no idea if he said something to the guy or someone else or his medication got fixed or whatever. But the guy took all the posts down, said it was out of line, apologized, said best of luck with my special. And I never accepted the message. I just read it. So he thinks that I never read the message, and I'm like, keep it that way, because I want you to boil in your own guilt for the rest of your life.
Right.
That you went out of your way to ruin someone else's career, and that's what a lot of people. When that clip went viral, man, like I haven't had many clips go viral, but like that clip, there was like people were trying to go viral from your viral. It burned people. Like they didn't know how to handle that you were having success, and they couldn't get it from all the hashtag and posting and stuff. And it was like, it was kind of nasty. It made me really question, do I really want to, like, I enjoy stand-up, but I don't know that I ever want to, like, truly be in the Bill Burr level of spotlight. Maybe I will, and I won't care. Because
that's all it is. There's so much more of that.
It's
It's
just
basically
vitriol.
that
Just
times
vitriol.
1,000.
Yeah, vitriol after vitriol. But the problem is that I'm really good at taking them on. Like I walk in, I'm just like pow 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 pow, pow, like I'm like a boxer. Like and they think that they're gonna win, and I just like annihilate people. It's like a gift that I'm unaware of that I didn't know until I went into the comment section with literally no battle gear and was just like bare knuckles, like pow 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 pow, just bitch slapping people at their comments. Like some of the shit, like this guy the other day who was running his mouth. I wrote. I go, this was supposed to be just a cute observation about dialect and mispronunciations of words, but you have ruined it. Do you wake up a cunt, or you just like this naturally? And it says you're married. God bless your wife, because she's either a saint or she's a corpse. Like she's literally just a dead body that died years ago that you call your wife, and you weekend at Bernie's her around town. And
Maybe you could make a thing out of this, you know? Maybe you could make this your thing, just roasting people back.
oh,
you know?
but I think it's smart. Like I don't know if do you know Zacho?
I've never met him, but I know what you're talking about.
Him and I are like very similar. Like we're both like good, like
He just moved to
normal
Austin.
guys, but like we're also a little bit like we can go 0 to 100 pretty quick.
Yeah.
And in the comment sections, like we just go at people, because I think people need to also know that my whole mentality is comics have become little bitches. Like we're like, oh, don't engage in the comments, be nice, peace. No, I think we need to go at and it's like we need to make comedy crowds scared again. Like we need to make the crowds scared that they're gonna get called on. The crowds get annihilated so that they feel bad about who they are. Like you don't run your mouth at the hardest thing ever that you've said is the hardest thing ever, and then get to just walk all over and interrupt shows and throw beer cans. Audience members need to get hit. Like I literally think whether it's words or physical, and
So that it stops.
and let people have it, and that includes the comment section to just go at them. This one guy posted something. He didn't like that I wrote on my page. He's like, you queer ass, and he was like, insulting me. And I go, hey David, I'm like, I see that you're a pastor in Nebraska. I'm gonna let you comment one more time before I screenshot you to the whole congregation. And I took a picture of his name with the church, and I was like, I will go there. So it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Why do you think that, what I love to do on internet arguments now is if it's going on too long, I just write, what is your address? I'm done talking. I don't want to argue with you in real life. Let's fight. Let's literally fight in real life. Hal from, Ohio. I will milk the floor with you. Like, what? Get out of here.
And that's the last thing they're expecting.
No, that they shut right up. And then I'll private message them. What's your number and your address? Like, I will like ask. You got to get a little crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you don't, people are gonna, they're gonna just walk all over you. This is like any other thing in life. Like, you let people walk all over you, you're gonna get stomped. You got to set the boundary. Like, oh, that guy's crazy. Don't. He attacks people.
Yeah, you never want them to think you're a mark.
Yeah, you always want them. That's one of my one of my jokes is like, that like with my glasses on, I always tell people like I look like I'm nice. I could help you with your financial portfolio. And as soon as I take my glasses off, I'm just a scumbag from New Jersey. This is where I'm from. I'm like, go ahead. What did you say? Say it again. And it can go really quickly to like yoga instructor to Al Pacino, like or Judd Nelson. Like, and it's like, I'm only 5'4", 5'5", so it's like you think I haven't been trying to defend myself my whole life? Like, I'm a caged can of rage. I will murder not murder, but I will make you. My best comment I ever got was from my improv teacher. He goes, I don't want to fight you because I might win, but I'm going to come out bloody and gashed. I'm like, that's what I want people to think.
It's beautiful, man. And I think that it's the deterrent that we need. I think you're onto something. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like a peace and love person. I think peace and love is the answer.
I will always do anything and everything I can to avoid a fight, and I will never fight a friend, and I will never throw the first punch.
Yeah.
But the moment you provoke me or touch someone that I care about, all bets are off.
When I think that
glasses come off.
There is something to be said about like people thinking that's appropriate, and like the only way you deter that is by showing it's absolutely not appropriate. Like, you're not doing anything by commenting things like this. You're not doing anything by directly pretty much harassing people like this. Because I mean, a lot of the time these people who do this, they are the same one who's going to comment on 10 of your different videos, and they engage with it the most because they hate watch it, essentially. So they keep seeing it, and they're going to keep doing it.
Well, that's what someone said to me the other day. They're like, if I were you, I would tread lightly on the comments that you're making back with these people about this stupid post about dialect, because you wouldn't want this to damage your contracts with your cruises, with comedy clubs. And I was like, if I lost a contract because of this post, I would ruin that person's life. Their life would end. I would find out everything about them. I would be on their company's website. I would screenshot their comments. I'm like, if I'm going down, you're coming with me attached to my ankles. That was literally what I said. And they said it from a place of concern. I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not the is it the provocateur? I'm not the provocateur.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I just wrote a post about dialect, and you called me a hack piece of shit that needs to watch Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just defending myself.
Yeah. How did you say cast earlier, by the way?
Cast?
I swear you said like cost or
the cost system.
Cost. As soon as you said mulk, I was like, all right, so I can tell him you said cast wrong.
Well, I just think it's funny when people are saying it. He's like, I have a glass of milk.
My mom says whoosh, and it took me so long to figure out that was her and not how everybody says it.
Like I'm gonna do the laundry wash.
I'm gonna wash the clothes. I'm gonna wash the whoosh with a U. And I tell her this, and she still denies it. She's like, I don't do that.
I think we need to stop blaming dialect and start just educating people that you're just mispronouncing words.
That's what I would do.
I was like, unless you're from the UK or India or Europe, somewhere like that's not down the street in Downers Grove.
You can't say wash either, by the way.
You can't be like, oh, I grew up in Minnesota. That's how we say cock kick. It's like, no.
No, you don't.
What's your name? Wyatt?
Yeah.
I call you Ryan. Like, how about I just give you a whole new name?
Right. Sorry, that's just the way we do things.
So I pronounce Wyatt Ryan. It's the dialect. Go watch Nate Bargatze, you prick.
Like, I mean, that would be a fun gag, right? You just pronounce a bunch of shit wrong.
That's what I did to this girl on my page. Her name was like Shauna, and I go, hey, Sharon, first of all. And she goes, you're not funny. And I thought this was the best comeback. I just go, at least I'm not an internet troll. A miserable internet troll. Like, and that's gotta... And I don't love that energy. It's not productive. But, like, what makes you think that you're just going to come with no repercussion or consequence? That
I think people need better hobbies. Why are you doing this?
They're miserable, one. And I'm just here to politely... Look, I'm not spending my whole days getting into arguments with people. What I do is I go in... I always tell people, I go elbow, punch... If they come back me, I hit them in the gut, and then I report them for bullying. I do. I'll go elbow. Okay, he came back for more. Elbow. He comes back again. I punch him in the face. He comes back again, hit him in the gut with something really mean, and then I report them for bullying, harassment, and then I block them. But I wait 30 minutes so that they see the comments. Then when they go respond to the comment, they can't. It's petty, but it works for me.
I hope that people see this podcast and you just get hate bombed. You know, like
it's funny because like, why are you coming at me? I'm destroying you in the comments. Like I'm an internet comment destroyer, and you think you're gonna win, but it just it doesn't. You don't ever win.
You don't come for the champ.
No,
No.
You don't come for me.
Were you a physical trainer before you did comedy, or was that came after?
No,
It sounds like it came before the way you told things earlier.
Well, yeah, it was like I moved here and I started doing it, and then I've had this whole fitness journey. Like, so I started out in fitness, and I was like overweight, like I was like almost 200 pounds, and I was like this whole weight loss journey. Became a trainer, and then I got busy where I was living, and then I moved here, and then I got really, really like shredded, like competition level fit, and then it was like unsustainable. Got a job where it was like, you know, free food, health insurance, and pay. Got fat again, and then quit. Got hungry again, and then lost the weight. And I've just been kind of like teetering between. Now I'm like in that mid level of like fit and dad bod, and I'm like, you know what, this is more like I'm almost 50 now, so I'm like, this is like I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I still do sprints. I still do high intensity energy, and I think this is like as good as I'm gonna look because I'm doing everything I can. And you know,
yeah,
like,
and it's if you're trying to be like ripped, that is a constant effort.
It is, and I'm putting in a lot of effort. Like this is probably the most effort I've put in to try to like get back to the glory days, and it's working. I'm not like where I want to be necessarily, but my fighting weight was always like 150, and I'm at like 155 right now. So I'm
Nice.
like, I'd like to get back down to that, but even that might be just unsustainable, especially with like my sleep schedule, shows, training early in the morning, and eating and habits getting thrown off. But I eat well. I take care of myself still pretty good. I'm getting to bed earlier, and it's just a constant work in progress with trying to balance, you know, early mornings, late evenings, writing, ships, eating on time, you know. The good news is I don't just like, I'm not like, all right, well, it's late, I guess I'm going to get Domino's. Like, I don't do that. You know, if anything, it's like, oh, shit, I ate this chicken way too late. Now I have agita. And then I'm up, like, waiting. You know, because I've also had a slew of stomach issues that I've had my whole life. I had, like, bacteria in my stomach and stuff, and I've been dealing with that for, like, my whole life. And they just finally got it under wraps, so that made everything, like, just twice as much uphill. That's why, like, you know, people were like, oh, you're a trainer? Like, on one of the comments, and I was like, yeah, well, I had a bacteria in my stomach that prevented me from doing anything productive for the last 3 years, but thanks, douche.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
So,
And that's one of those things too where it's like hard to even figure out what's going on, right? It does take like a lifetime because doctors will tell you one thing, another doctor will tell you another thing.
And literally you have to, and I did this with my parents, like, you have to, like, literally become, like, a hybrid of, like, medicine and then what you find on your own. Like, not like do your own research, but like do your own research, listen to what you're being told by doctors, seek out alternative medicine as well, and then find the hybrid thing in the middle. Like I was going to I went to a all natural doctor for my stomach and learned a lot about gut health. But guess what? Gut health is not always what it is. It could be a little bit of what it is, but you might actually have something else that like only a medical doctor can address.
Like what?
Like, so initially they found out that I had this bacteria in my stomach, and we had to get rid of the bacteria. But to get rid of the bacteria, you do need like antibiotics. And they're not prescribing antibiotics because they're just like, oh, take zinc or take this to get rid of it. So I was constantly listening on one side, listening on the other side, and then doing somewhere in the middle to figure it out.
I see.
And now I've got this nice happy medium where it's like, yeah, I do take care of my gut health, but I also might take stomach medication if I need something that's helping the symptoms. And it was kind of scary because they actually found out that I have this thing called Barrett's esophagitis, which is like a precursor to esophageal cancer. And a lot of people have it, but not everybody develops it. So I had to get like an endoscopy done recently. And the good news is that it didn't grow. The signs of it didn't grow from the last time I got it, which was 4 years ago.
Okay.
So it didn't progress.
Yeah.
So
which would be the sign
all
that it's progressing into a cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then the bacteria was gone, So that was the good news. The bacteria that was there once that like was colonizing in my stomach is gone, and the cancerous cells didn't grow. So it's a lot. It's a lot of work because you're one side's always telling you, no, don't listen to what doctors say, and they're like, oh no, don't listen to what they're saying, and then you just have to like kind of formulate your own opinion in the middle, and then you figure it out. And now I've got so many tools on the left and the right of like alternative medicine and regular medicine to determine like what I need to actually do for my own body.
Yeah, and with training, that probably helps with helping
I
other
would,
people, right?
I would not be. First of all, my anxiety would be through the roof if I didn't exercise. That's why you said, why are these people online and they're miserable? None of them are exercising. You can tell.
Yep.
Just mental health.
Well, that's why I say better hobbies.
Yeah, people who are healthy and fit and
they don't think about that kind
approaching
of stuff.
wellness. They're not like, who can I tell is a bad comedian on the internet today? Let me have my Mocha Joe first, and then I will go after. Oh, what's this comedian trainer? He's a piece of shit. You know, like. But like you're
right after their morning run.
Can we do a quick interview with your friends to find out what a piece of shit you are?
Right.
We should just be able to like put people on trial.
These commenters.
Like, you know, you just commented that I'm a bad comedian. I heard you're a bad husband. Which you probably are if you have that much time to engage.
Yeah, it's kind of a guarantee.
So I just think it's a smarter move to like, you know, I don't love it for my mental health. I don't love it is toxic. It's not productive. I don't love that I do it. I probably should stop. But there's something that is so fulfilling about the elbow, punch, bully.
I think it gives you life.
Block. Yeah. It's very fruitful to be like, just go on their page and be like, oh, with that hairline, you're talking shit to me? Like, and then they're like, oh, my hairline? And then but it's also, it's like you're feeding negative with negative. So I don't love it, but it goes back to that, like, you know, we need to like start allowing people to realize like you're just not going to get away with, like, you can't, just because you have, you know, people, remember the expression, what is it, beer goggles?
Yeah.
Like when you see like, oh, I thought she was attractive, so I fooled around with her. You know,
Yeah.
I call it not beer muscles, beer googles.
Beer googles.
Like you think you've got like these internet muscles. That's why I was like, what's your address?
Yeah. And you have internet muscles too.
Yeah, and
so you gotta flex them back.
Some guy wrote, what did he write to me? He's like, oh, you don't want any piece of this. And he was like an MMA fighter in Australia. And he wrote some comment. And I was like, I quoted American Beauty. I'm like, I'm just a guy with nothing to lose, my friend. I'm like, let me know when you want to come to the U.S. to meet. And he goes, I'm good. Like, I think he was like, this sounds a little scary.
Right.
And it is a little nutty, but like, it's like, you know, talk about fuck around and find out. Like, you know, sometimes you just gotta flex a little bit.
It's like an amateur crazy person meets professional crazy person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I am actually crazy. If he paid for my flight, I'd probably go. Even if I got my ass kicked, I'm like, hey, at least I stood up for myself.
It's worth it.
It's like Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. At least I tried. God damn it. At least I tried. You know.
Did you get educated for training, or how'd you even get that job? Like, what were you always You were working in fitness?
Yeah, I took a job early on at a Gold's Gym. I was doing sales, and then I just started meeting with some of the trainers, and they were like, you know, you should pursue your certificate, and they weren't really making a lot of money there, so I got my certification, and then ended up taking another job at like a private health club in Virginia. Got busy, and I was like, I'm hitting like a ceiling here, so I was like, I need to go to like a bigger city. Ended up moving to Chicago.
Ah, there it is.
And then everything is like, you know, the rest is history. But like taking that job where I was working those crazy hours, and then, you know, everything kind of just morphed after COVID. A lot of people have switched to like online now. It's like virtual. So like we've been together for so long. People have moved and stuck with me. So I've got like a small kind of like boutique of people. I need more, but with comedy, it's already like between managing some of their schedules and then mine. Sometimes I'm like, after like I train like 10 hours a week versus like using to do like 40, I'm like, whew, just like getting people like scheduled sometimes is a challenge. But but I've made it work. So it's been cool to like, and the name on my Instagram is comedian trainer, because in an improv team, back in the day, we did gifts for each other as an improv team. And my friend Eric wrote a rap about me, and he called it comedian trainer. And he's like, he's up at 5 training the people. He's up at a show at 8, comedian trainer, comedian. And it just all rhymed. I'm not giving it justice. I think I saved it somewhere. It was a great rap. Everybody was
theme
clapping.
song.
Yeah, comedian trainer, comedian. So then I just I'm just gonna make that my Instagram name, and it just stuck. Somebody told me I should change it. I thought in the new year I wanted to start posting more fitness content and wellness content because it is something I'm passionate about and something I do. But I think my mindset is always like, oh my God, I gotta post comedy content. But the reality of it is like fitness content is like that really explodes. I'm convinced the algorithm of Instagram only gives like the elite or a certain few through the hole. Like for comedy, like it's got to be a really good clip. It's got to be crisp. It's got to be almost borderline controversial, or you're famous.
Yeah.
Whereas fitness, like you could be like, you in this apartment, be like, if you want this, don't do this. If you want to do this, don't do that. And like just some bullshit trend, and like you doing push-ups in front of that candle,
100K.
and you'd probably go viral.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Wyatt's washboard abs. You know.
Yeah. Maybe I just need to like fake that I know about fitness.
So that's why I think I'm going to start like not
I'm
just,
relatively fit. I mean, I could probably just lie.
Yeah. You look like you could be coaching like a track team, you know?
Yeah,
You,
exactly.
look like you actually look like Coach Wyatt
Check out
from
these calves.
the Nike training. Have you ever seen the Nike training
No.
team? Oh my God.
I look like him?
You sound like him. And you
Oh.
do look like him.
Nice.
I'll send you a photo.
Dad?
He's actually pretty funny too. He does like puns and stuff while you're on the run. But yeah, and it's not just for the followers. It's to actually balance out the page. My goal this year was to have like one video comedy, one video fitness, so that makes sense because people are like, "Why?"
And something you actually have expertise in.
People are like, "You train comedians?" I don't understand. It's like, I used to do a lot more back in the day, and now I just sort of like, I think your mindset thinks like, if I'm not doing comedy, I'm not doing it. But it's again like just like a writing job might help your comedy career, or hosting Fear Factor helped Joe Rogan's comedy career, which then turned into a stand-up career. It could be something else that leads people to your comedy.
Yeah, I think
like you with music, like maybe it's something else that you do that goes viral, but then they get directed to your music.
Exactly.
You know?
I think of it like entry points. I think like you're just giving people more spots to discover you. And I think people have this like illusion of like, oh, well, I don't want them to know me for this, and I don't want them to know me for this. And it's like, does it really matter?
That's what I got to get out of that mindset. And just do it. And
because the people who really want to support you, they'll probably like everything you do. Like the people at the very bottom of that funnel that just watch everything, they're gonna enjoy it no matter what because they like you. That's usually what happens.
I think that's the other goal, and I think this is good advice too for just about anybody, is like stop being a perfectionist and just start doing. I think a lot of people think like, oh, when I do X or when I get to Y, or I'm gonna do this when I get to X and Y, and I have to accomplish this to do this, and it's like, no. Just start doing it now.
Yeah.
You know?
While it's not perfect, and while it might suck, and while you're still figuring it out.
And realize you are contributing value. There's a lot of crap out there. Trust me, I watch these videos like, what I eat in a day. I'm like, you're 14, dude. You can eat whatever the fuck you want to eat.
Right.
Like, what's a real diet for somebody who's in their 40s, who metabolism's slowed down? Like, what can I do? My back hurts. How do I fix that? How do I, address this hip pain? Like, and I'm also a corrective exercise specialist, so I've worked in rehab clinics, so I've got a lot of ability to like help people rehab through injuries that they don't have to go to physical therapy. They don't have to go to a chiropractor and suffer and be in pain. I think people are always like, oh, don't ever get old. Don't ever get old. And I'm like, no, it's how you got old. It's how you let things go. It's
the
what
lifestyle
you didn't address
that
led you to where you are. And that is what people need to realize. It's like, it's not an inevitability. It's something you can actually fix. It's not something you just have to tolerate. It's not something you have to accept. You can actually stop it in its tracks and help feel better,
Yeah, and often people don't go to the source of the problem. They go to external things that only are like Band-Aids on top of the problem.
Right.
And the problem's still there.
Right.
And like that thing will still persist and grow. It's like, if you have a cancer, you got to cut out the cancer. You can't just ignore the cancer and then do other things.
That's the problem with body too, is like if you have back pain, it's 9 times out of 10 it's not your back. It's your hips are tight, your glutes are tight, your alignment is off, your gait pattern's off. Could be a problem in your foot or your calf. It's a kinetic chain from your foot up to your calf, foot to ankle to calf to quad to hip up to your low back up to your neck. It could be a lot of different things that are going on that are what's affecting it. So it's never just the source. And what people do when they hurt their back, they go to a chiropractor, they get a massage, and it's like, I could give you 4 or 5 things to do for glutes and hip openers that immediately would release your back.
Yeah.
Because I've been a guinea pig for myself and been in situations where I'm dealing with pain and pain management. And, that's why I always joke, like, one of my legs is longer than the other. So if you can see, the left leg is way longer.
Yeah.
So it creates a imbalance in my hips and my back. So my entire right side for years have been in imbalanced pain. But I've now learned how to, like, correct it and manage it. It's not 100%, but it's probably like 90, which is pretty good, especially if I stick with like my regiment to keep it at that way. That's why I always give people shit. They're like, "Oh, you're short," and I'm like, "Oh, that's actually I was born with a leg discrepancy, you piece of shit. Like, there's nothing I can do about it." So it's like always just a way to, like, going back to like the bullying people back, but also like re-educating back. Like, maybe that's not a comment you should make. It's 2026.
Yeah, I thought we were progressive.
Yeah, exactly. We're all progressive except with height jokes. Those are still on the table.
I learned when I was younger, because I had I've always had a bad back, and that's exactly right. It was I have a rotated hip. That's what they told me.
A lot of people do.
Yep. So my hip's like slightly rotated, and because of that, my back's got like 15% scoliosis, trying to compensate for it. And they just told me to do stretches. That was their advice.
The stretch that I do every single day is the pigeon stretch on my bed.
What's that?
Pigeon is a yoga stretch that you could do on the floor, but most people can't get into it because their hips are too tight and locked. So you do it elevated, and it allows you to get into the proper alignment. And then you basically you're basically putting your foot like an L pattern on your bed. I'll show it to you before I leave. And then you just hop the leg back and then drop straight down to like a lunge pattern. And that will stretch out your hips and your glute and your lower lumbars.
Ooh, I'm feeling a release just
So
thinking about it.
I literally do it when I wake up. I do it at the gym on an incline bench, and then I do it before I go to bed.
Huh.
And
that works for you.
And I'm very, very cognitive of what shoe wear I have on too, because that can also cause imbalances and create more problems for your knees and your back.
Yeah.
I'm not like a huge believer in barefoot, but I'm a believer in the zero drop. So it's like in between barefoot and functional stability shoes.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere between a barefoot and somewhere between a functional, because like their mindset and philosophy, which I agree with, is that we were never running barefoot through rocks, and pavement, but
It was grass.
right. So putting like just a slight padding is not smart either. We need some level of a protective mechanism to help us.
Yeah.
So I feel the most aligned and like you get grounding from like barefoot. I feel like I'm getting grounding effects from like the earth, and like my metatarsals of my feet are working, and there's proprioceptive, proprioception is happening, that I'm actually like, utilizing different areas of muscle and flexion and activation that I might not use with an overly stability corrective shoe.
Yeah.
So that's actually helpful too, is to realize that like everything kind of comes from the ground up, from your, what's going on with your feet, to your ankle, to your hip. Like when people have knee pain, one client, I'm always like, "What shoes did you wear?" He's like, "Oh, I had these dress shoes on." I'm like, "Well, there you go."
Dude, I ran for a month in boots before I realized I needed running shoes. I fucked my knees up, dude. I felt so stupid.
I'm going to pretend like you didn't just say that. I actually trained a girl that she called me one day, and she's like, "I have to cancel our session." I'm like, "What happened?" She goes, "Well, I was really drunk after the Christmas party, and I felt bad that I ate too much food, and I went for a run, but I forgot my running shoes, so I was running in high heels, and I twisted my ankle." I'm like, "Oh my God." I can't even just picture her on the treadmill running in high heels. Like, what are you doing?
Part of me was thinking, like, you know what? This is going to make me stronger. This is going to make me better because the resistance.
You should just that should be your viral video, the boot guy. I'm the boot runner.
Dude, I was running like 8.5, 9-minute miles in those boots.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Because I literally didn't know better.
What are they putting in the water in Flint and Cranbrook?
This is how I know there's got to be something up with me, is the fact that I would make a decision like that.
Yeah,
like the fact that I wouldn't know better means like
sometimes you take for granted that some people think that, like, the common knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like there's always something to contribute, because you're like, you take it for granted. Like I take it for granted how much I know about fitness and wellness and injuries. So like the fact that you're running miles and didn't know that you need a running shoe.
Dude, it's actually
Makes
nuts.
me more motivated to go make a video right now. Like
and you know what? I'm glad.
Don't run in boots.
Don't run in boots. You will fuck yourself up. I woke up the first time I did it, I woke up the next day like, why can't I walk? Why does this feel so
Why is
terrible?
my knee?
I ran 8 miles yesterday. I should feel good. And like, I'm using fucking ChatGPT as my personal trainer, and it's telling me like, oh, if you don't feel springy, then don't run the next day. And I'm like, well, no pain, no gain. I guess I got to get out there.
No, don't do that.
I bought the running
My
shoes.
bone was shooting out of my quad. I thought that was normal.
I was like, how do people run? People run all the time. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good runner. And then I got the running shoes because I Google it. Once I made the decision, like, oh, I need running shoes. I Google it. I get good running shoes. It was like a dream. It was so different. It was so nice. It was like my legs didn't hurt. Because I would get to the point during the run where I'm like, oh my God, this is bad. That must be my muscles building.
Right, so that's the extreme version of what I'm trying to say is that like you don't have to live that way. And I think that's what I offer to people is that like you don't have to like, and it's basic re-education stuff too. Sometimes that like people are like, oh, I hurt my back in 92 and I have to walk a certain way. I have to carry things. Like, no, you don't. Mm-hmm. Stop writing the script for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because it's the story they're telling themselves.
It's like,
and that's like I think when you are yourself, you forget who you are. Like you forget that you take your knowledge for granted, you take your choices for granted. And so like offering that to people, like for me, I just learn that all the time that like, oh, that must be a skill. Just the fact that I even make the choices I make, it seems to affect people. So, but you only learn that through putting yourself out there.
The problem, I think a lot of times, the problem I haven't done a ton of fitness videos is because you always get these schmuck influencers that are like 14 that are bodybuilders that are like, actually, the lumbo pelvic hip complex is best trained, and I'm like, oh God, like I don't have the energy to deal with like pseudo experts.
You feel like you're always starting from ground zero.
Because then the same way with comedy, you have people telling you suck. Then you have these like pseudo experts that have to like flex their dominance because they have insecurities because they're not actually trained and they're not actually educated. So they have to go flex on your page to make themselves look intelligent even though they're not, to then put you in a lower chamber so that people see their comment and go to their page. It's like it's all vultures. So I'm actually probably gonna just start turning off commenting or just doing what I do, punch elbow punch block.
And the frustrating part, again, like reminding yourself that people just don't know what you know, is that like the public doesn't know the difference between those two people. So like if you're just a general audience, you don't know who's right and who's wrong.
I think mine is such a specific niche that I'm hoping that like I'm not going to go in and be like, here's a 5-minute ab exercise routine that's all you need to do, like and take my shirt off. Like I don't think that's like there's enough of that. There's not enough of like home remedy self-care techniques that don't involve the Theragun that you could do at home. Where people might not be intimidated by that because that realm of the internet really is low right now. It's all hips. It's like train your hip flexors, they're another muscle, you need to train your hip flexors. That sound. So now everybody's doing hip videos and it's like, yeah, great, train your hips, but like what if they're tight? Don't train something that's tight. It should be open up your hip flexors then train your hip flexors. So it's like people fixate on the one thing, it goes viral, they probably get a ton of virtual clients that go see them, that it's just
and it's a cycle.
We really need like it's lawlessness on the internet. We really need like, we barely have regular law in our life. I don't think we'll be on the internet anytime soon. But yeah, it's just kind of like the Wild West out there. You're just dealing with lunatics that are like, how did you even set up your account? Like, how are you existing in this world? But
I guess it's the same thing as earlier, right? Where it's like, if you really want it to be better, you got to just put your knowledge out there and help people.
It's like the lottery, right? Like everybody's trying to get this ticket because they all know it exists. I mean, there's people that aren't even. Have you ever seen these videos where they do like these pranks where they're like, my wife's coming home from work, and they put like a mannequin like made of paper mache, and he's got it like on his crotch. And she walks in, he's like, hey, honey. And she's like, oh, my God. And they're like, ah. And like she's screaming and she throws something at him, but it's like a fake mannequin. They're like, anybody in their right mind would know. And she comes over and rips the head off and it's like a dummy. And she's like, oh, my God, I thought that was a woman. And they're like, they all laugh. And it's got like 12 million likes and shares. And this guy has clearly got enough cash to have a crew to hire to make garbage videos.
Yeah.
But he's monetizing, so it's like
Yeah.
people. That's why people keep flooding the internet with terrible reels.
Because it keeps happening.
I mean,
And I think
Hot
like
Tua. I mean,
Yes.
the girl's a millionaire.
Yeah.
From literally telling us how she blows a dude by spit on that thing. Now she's got more money than anybody I know.
Yep. And if
So-
you like, you get to the point where people are like, no, she's got a good personality.
No.
She's
And
really
she was
nice.
on tour with Matt Rife recently, which is insane.
Yeah. She's doing comedy
she
now.
was like
huh?
with him on the bus, and I'm like, what is happening? But it's just like, whatever, dude. Like, you try not to get mad. You just keep doing your thing and hope that in your corner of the world on the internet that you find enough of a following. Like, people make fun of Dane Cook, but it's like he had a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
People like Dane Cook. People like Elijah Schlesinger. Like, they're gonna like who they like. They like Matt Rife. Like, people care so much about why people like a certain person, but they don't care about why they don't like you.
Yeah.
And that's what we really need to figure out. And I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, how do I
You'll
get
get there?
How do people like you and what you my following's jumped, but like after shows I always tell people to follow me, and like sometimes you'll get like a bunch, and then sometimes you get nothing, and then sometimes you make a video of you doing the audio of Trump blowing Bill Clinton, and it goes viral, and then you get 2,000 followers. Which is what happened to me last month. I'm like, I was up late one night, and I was like, I took like an edible, and I was like, it was like so, like over the top, like bad, really bad.
And that did it for you.
I was just like, I'm gonna make it so obvious, and so fake, and I'm like, I really like you, Bill. And I was like sucking sounds. He's like, oh, I haven't had a blowjob since Hillary hasn't done this since Chelsea was born. And it's like, you're a big, beautiful Bill. Like, it was terrible.
Big
and
Bill.
It went like crazy. It's still getting likes and follows from it. Like, I'm educated as a personal trainer, corrective exercise specialist, stretch coach, yoga instructor, comedian, improv trained, Second City trained, touring, doing stand-up 20 years, and the one thing that gets me viral is a blowjob audio, fake found footage of Trump blowing Bill Clinton on Epstein's Island.
More of that.
Yeah, exactly. More of your trash, because that's what we really like.
I'm gonna pee real quick. Really, though, what I think is unfortunate about that stuff is I think people learn the wrong lessons from it. I think what happens is people get that viral Bill Clinton Trump blowjob video, and they think, oh, so that is what I have to do. And then they just keep doing that.
Yeah.
And, like, they learn the
haven't
wrong
done
lesson. But the thing is, like, you can keep doing that. You can keep doing stuff like that, yeah. But don't only do that. Like, and I think
that's what actually works. 'Cause
Exactly.
People figure out what their niche is, and then they want that from you. Unfortunately, I think for me, unfortunately, I don't really have a niche. I have like stand-up clips and then some fitness videos intertwined. So I haven't really figured out. But what I've learned about people in the culture of like the internet world or the real world or the meta world is that people don't love to follow like it's like a form. Like they want to see a form on your page of like,
Yeah.
Oh, here's another photo of him in the the red and white shirt. Oh, here's another video of him doing that, and it's all the videos. They're all uniform. There's a form to it, that you're following, and people like that. I don't know if it's because of the algorithm and its simplicity, or if people are just, type A, or if it's just our like pre-wired prehistoric brains like the specificity of it and the uniform of it, or what it is. And I know that that's my problem about where my page is sort of like, it's not stagnant. It's just this very slow elevation.
Yeah.
Is that I don't have like a specific thing. Like I'm not like the thing. People post stand-up clips. They're great to post, but like I don't think that's what really gets you seen. Now it's like, can you do an impression? Can you do a video that's funny? Or your videos have to catch.
Yeah.
That's why I just do whatever. I just do whatever and anything until I figure out like what exactly it is.
Yeah.
And then something will hit, and then I'll do something similar, but I'll never just like be like, all right, I'm gonna do the blowjob of Trump audio. Like my goal, and whether it's strategic and smart or not, I don't know, is just to keep putting as many different spins on comedy, whether it's me doing an impressions reel, crowd work reel, a well-written stand-up routine and joke, or a funny clip of something that I thought was like I kind of just do it all, and maybe that's not smart, but
I think it's not smart, but it's good, because like that's exactly what I'm saying. Is I think that I wouldn't say it's by design. I think it's probably multiple things. Like it's probably multiple of those things you just said kind of all happening at once. Like it probably is human psychology being shaped by an algorithm, but also the algorithm being shaped by psychology. It's probably an interplay between the two, where we are creatures of familiarity, and we do want to, like, you watch a show because you know what the show is. You come back to the show every week because it's the same type of thing. You know what to expect, where it's like you wouldn't turn the show on if the show was completely different the next week, and then it's completely different the next week, unless that's what the show established itself as. And so it's like, but I just hate this idea, and I think like Reels and TikTok has created it more so than anything, where it's like everything is now simple. Everything is now this like, you're the guy that does this. You're the guy that does this. And it's like, I don't think that's what real creativity is. I think real creativity is throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's why I like talking to comics that are like actual comics, because it's built into the mentality of comedy in my mind of, you spend all this time making this content, and you want to refine it and make it as good as you can. And now you got an hour, now you got 40 minutes. And then once you film it for a special, you throw it all away and you start over again. And I wish like more musicians thought that way, where it's like, Kurt Cobain hated Smells Like Teen Spirit for a reason, because he didn't want to play the same song over and over and over. He wanted to make music, and that was just a song that he made. It wasn't like he was trying to make his magnum opus and be done.
Right. Yeah.
And like that to me is, I just hate that. I don't think people realize like social media has trained us to do this. Like it's made us think that's what we have to do. Yeah. And I don't think that's I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's real creativity. I think real creativity is, how did you get that idea in the first place? Like what led you to film that stupid Bill Clinton video? And the story is just as dumb as you'd think. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the other thing people don't realize is like sometimes you'll just be posting all these videos incessantly, and it's going nowhere. And then the thing that might make you go viral has nothing to do with anything you posted.
Yep.
You could get a spot on, America's Got Talent, or a TV show, or they saw you in a commercial, or you opened for somebody else and they took you on the road, and that's how your followers develop. And
and no one else knows that story. No one else has to know that story.
Yeah, it could just be that quick. That's what I mean. It could be like literally overnight. You could be, so-and-so could message me again and say, hey, how'd you like to open? Or I got 5 cities. Can you come with me on a tour? And all of a sudden your life changes, and you got 20,000 followers, and then people are like, oh, that's the guy that opened for, so-and-so. I like that guy. And I mean, that's how a lot of people have done it. When you get into comedy, like the bigger name helps the friend.
Yeah, they pull you under the wing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just haven't been pulled under that wing yet.
Please.
Waiting for a fucking eagle to swoop me up because daddy's tired.
And I think that more often than not too, it's a lesson of like the relationships that you build are really what are going to carry you far. It's not that one-time success. It's not that one thing. It's like the relationships you build along the way that really mean something.
That's what we were talking about earlier with the clubs. People don't realize, like, you burn a bridge at a club, like, people talk. Whether that's the way you treat the staff members, you know, the way you treat the bookers with your email, your attitude, or... you know, the way you present, you show up drunk at a club, you show up high at a club. Like when I first did my cruise ship, I walked up to the cruise director and I was like, hey, you know, like, how was that as far? And I think he thought I was like asking for like comedy advice. He goes, I'm not going to give you advice on your material. And I just like started laughing. And I'm like, I've been doing this 20 years. I'm not worried about my material. I'm like asking you, how was this for the culture of this particular cruise line? And he goes, oh. You didn't show up drunk, you didn't show up high, you didn't fall off the stage, and you didn't insult anybody in the audience. As far as I'm concerned, if you don't talk shit about the cruise line or you don't do any of those things, I don't give a shit. You did great. And then just walked away. And I'm like, I stopped him. I go, somebody showed up high? He goes, a comedian fell off stage 3 weeks ago and I had to report them. And I was like, what? How do you get a gig that good and then just be like, I'm going to get fucked up and eat all the sushi I can and then shit myself and fall off the stage? Like, talk about ruining a gig.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think people have this like short-term mentality where they're thinking, oh, it's just one gig. And it's not just one gig.
Everybody found out about that. Every line, every agent. But unfortunately, sometimes you can do that stuff in Chicago and still get booked because they're like, oh, well, you're a sweetheart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do that. And I'm like, I'm cast into the shadows of the night.
You sound upset.
I'll still kill and I'll still have the same, if not better, set. But for some reason, there's just certain people that have this golden card to just do whatever, and their consequences are quite different. So
yeah, but I think that those people, it's the same thing. It's gonna limit them in the end. Like, yeah, maybe these people in Chicago are cool with that, but that's not gonna fly. You can't carry that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're these guys' sweetheart. Isn't that nice? That's what it is. You're stuck here now.
Yeah, your preferential treatment's only gonna take you locally.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that, like, to me, you don't even have to apply it to career, just in general in life. The relationships you make with people are what is meaningful. Like, it's the fact that you make connections with people. That's what makes a life make sense. That's what makes a life have value.
That's like what I was talking about. During the set, are you connecting with people?
Exactly, yeah.
People aren't going to remember you if you just had like 20 amazing jokes, maybe a good crowd moment.
You could be a writing god.
But if you're connecting with them and they feel like they're part of this thing that they connected to you with, that's so much more powerful because like that's like you've gotten into them, and they're gonna remember that. Like, oh my God, this comedian, he pointed me out, and we talked about my marriage, and and that might not necessarily be crowd work. It could just be, and I don't really do a lot of crowd work. I don't do like individual crowd work. I do more like group crowd work. So so I feel like sometimes that can be selfish if you're just picking on one person and you're talking for like 20 minutes. It's more fun when you kind of can generalize the whole crowd, and that works really well with cruises because you can start making fun of the crowd, how they're all responding, how one half is responding, how one other half is not responding, and then you can talk about like how they act on the cruise and why they're so stressed out and who took a shit and why it smelled up this one bathroom and what you saw, who fell down where, and the maniacs at the buffet line. You start to like, they feel involved.
Yeah. Like the crowd as a person itself, like the crowd is the individual.
Yeah, it's like group mind.
Yeah.
I feel like it's less selfish than, like, Matt Rife had this one bit where he's talking to this woman who's like clearly this horny middle-aged woman who made him cookies and stuff, and it was like awkward because it was like they were flirting, and it was like 20 minutes of this 45-minute set. I'm like, I'm sitting here paying for a ticket. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching there? I'm like, this is like,
are they gonna fuck?
It's like softcore porn at this point,
I usually skip this part.
So that's why I like to do more like, I do some individual like stuff with crowd work, but I do like to keep it like kind of generalized too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, oh, this left half of the room, they suck, right? And like you can go kind of like, and then you build, and then the left is like, wait, what? And then you go to the right, and then the right doesn't like a joke, so you go back to the left. It kind of like you just kind of keep everybody on your toes that way.
Yeah.
That's been my thing.
When I did when I did roast battle, the reason I even got offered to do roast battle was because I showed up at Power Hour. You know that mic. And that mic, their whole thing is they've got a band and they encourage freestyling. And so I was trying to figure out, like, how do I justify me? I'm not a comedian, so how do I justify me showing up there and rapping, essentially? How do I make that work? Because if I just freestyle about anything, I don't feel like that's a sell. I feel like that's just me just going up and freestyling. So what I did, what the trick was, you watch everybody do their thing, and then you just take bullet points of all the shit they're mentioning throughout the night. And then when I go up, I just put all of that into the freestyle. And that is so effective.
Yeah,
like
they feel, people are selfish. They love to feel included.
And it's like what you just described, where you are connecting with the idea in the room. Like, it's like everybody has been sitting here through all of this, and we're all kind of collectively a part of this thing. And then I just kind of somehow wrap it all together, and they're all like, "Oh my god!" It's like you just did a magic trick.
Right.
Yeah. And so when I did roast battle, it's the same thing, where I get the lineup and I'll write the first half's going to be written, so I'm just kind of strategically going through roasting everybody that the audience is seeing that night. And then you do the same thing, the freestyle trick. So now it's like, not only did he diss everybody, he's saying that stuff we just saw.
Right.
He's literally...
So were you a judge, or were you actually roasting someone?
They basically just gave me 3 minutes to rap. They just gave me 3 or 4 minutes to rap. And they told me originally it was do what you did at Power Hour, just freestyle.
I got you.
But I'm thinking that's not enough. Like, what I got to do is roast everybody first.
Right.
And then freestyle.
Give them the blood that they seek.
Yes. Well, and it's like, in the context of that, that's just fantastic to me. Because it's like, the audience does not want a musician to go up there and halt the show. That's the last thing they want.
Singing your a cappella song about your father. Or
fucking bust out a ukulele. So they just see me go up there and they're immediately turned off. And so I know I have to win this audience over. Like, that is the fun part to me, is I am a place I should not be.
Right.
And making it work is what turns the audience. They just, by the end of it, they're like, they can't believe what I just did. Yeah. And there's something intimate about that, like, I just think is so fucking awesome. And like, you could take that to any comedy show and make it work. It makes me allowed to be there. If I just take all the stuff you just saw and then properly, like, say somebody made a joke about purple dildos. Like, yo, I murder raps. I said it hurts to kill dough. I eat that shit in my mouth, the purple dildo.
Right,
and immediately people, it's such a fucking stupid thing, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what it's about. That's what it's all about. You're creating moments that people felt like could have only happened there.
Yeah.
Like, that's why crowd work's
what I
cool.
mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
They feel like this is only for us. This is for us. He couldn't have done that anywhere else.
Yeah.
And people love that.
People are hungry for connections.
Yes.
So that's why I think in some ways it's bad, because stand-up has changed from like the traditional, you go up, you tell a joke, you get a response, set up punchline like in the 80s, and then it turned into like crowd work, where it's like some people are on and off with that, but I think the moments of connection are the most important.
Yeah.
Like, when you have that moment of connection that they can remember, and it's not just that you were hitting on some horny MILF in the front row, but like you actually, like, everybody felt involved and everybody felt connected to you and what you brought together. Because, I mean, comedy, you're there to, like, forget and feel, and we're all starving for connections right now. Clearly, this schmuck in his basement commenting on my dialect post has nothing better to do with his life, right?
Yeah.
He clearly is missing connection and human connection somewhere.
And that's his way of connecting.
Yeah, and it's like, it's toxic. It's a toxic way of connecting. And this girl who's telling me I'm not funny, she's lonely and toxic too. So it's a good way to kind of give us what we all desperately need, which is connection. And that's why I do like the cruise ships, because you can go out there and you can, in a very short period, connect with everybody on board, and then everybody departs, and then a new group gets on and you connect with them, and then who knows if it's actually going to help propel my career, but for right now it's fun, it's paying the bills, and I'm getting to eat a lot of really good food for free. I don't have to worry about as much crap.
Can't lose there. You can't lose.
Yeah.
Is that what's your then what do you imagine success as? With all that being said, like, if you see yourself 10 years from now, like, what is that successful thing? What do you think
I just
you
really
did?
want. I think that's morphed. I think it's really just stability. You know,
Yeah.
I love to be touring and being able to stop touring when I want. I love comics that are like, I'm going on tour, and then you don't see them for like 3 years. You know, I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Have a writing job. You know, just consistent income without like the level of stress that I have now, of like constantly trying to find and fill in gigs, and where if I lose a gig, it's not the end of the world. You know,
Right.
just be at that point where you're out there, you're known, and you can kind of pick and choose. I mean, I already do kind of pick and choose my gigs now, but even more so, be very specific with what my needs are and what I'm going to need to do a certain gig, and have that control, over it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, but it's really hard to attain.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And I think it's way more realistic than like wanting everybody to know your name and have your name in lights and have all this respect.
There's a lot of big comics now that people don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
And that's how I think I would like it to be. I don't necessarily care if I'm Bill Burr, but like I'd love to be able to be putting on a tour where I'm selling them out, like where I'm known enough, but not known so well that like anything I breathe or speak truth on is going to be in like People magazine next weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need all that.
You play Riyadh, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden they're bringing up quotes from 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
he's like he punched elbow punch block these guys from Michigan, and
That's what's going to come back to get you. It's going to be that. You're going to be like, you're going to finally
bring
achieve
it on, my
worldwide
friend.
success.
Bring it on.
Like, that guy threatened to fight
There's
me.
nothing racist that I said or nothing bad or misogynistic, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm good.
I hope you achieve that success and you're still doing it. They'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, why is this worldwide acclaimed name?
Like, have you seen like Godfrey goes at people in the comments?
Does he really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
he
great.
gets raw too. Some
I
of the
love
stuff
it.
he's said. And I love when like randomly a comic just chimes in and just destroys them and then doesn't respond to a single comment after that. He's just like, he just comes in, he goes for like the sucker punch, like just right to the gut when they're not even looking, and just knocks them out cold. Like I love watching a comedian do it, and then they just don't comment again. It's like they just annihilated you and you came back for more. You're like the video of the guy that gets his ass kicked on the pavement and you stand up and you're like, come on, man. Like your tooth is gone. Go home. Take the L, literally take the L home. And the L. Take the double L and take the L home because you have been mangled. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what maybe I need to start doing. That is just being really way even meaner.
I'm excited to see your progression. If you get meaner or nicer, that's what we get to see.
I think that's just me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm just mean and nice.
Yeah.
I'm nice until you make me not be.
You take the left and the right and you blend them
Yeah.
into the middle.
I'm never just mean unprovoked.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like David Banner, split right down the middle. It's like I always, I used to say, don't make me angry, Mr. McGee. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Like I've just lived by that. The Hulk is my favorite. So like it's like da-na-na-na. He's always got the face split where it's Banner and then the Hulk. And it's like I used to have a joke. It was like, don't make me hungry. Don't get me hungry. You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry. So it's like just don't get me at the wrong time, and you won't see the Hulk. It's literally just how I am.
Is there anything else you think we got to talk about here? Is there anything else you think is a good thing to talk about? We'll leave it up to you.
We covered a lot of topics. Hopefully I think they've all been interesting topics. Other than that,
Are we boring? Tell us if we're boring in the comments.
we're getting all these comments coming through. You guys suck.
Yeah, what
You're
the
pieces
fuck?
of shit. You're going
He'll
nowhere.
fight you, He'll fight you. He's not scared.
That's what I think is the most shocking is when people, like, when they see me react like that, because it's so, it's like so jarring that when it happens, they're like, oh, like I didn't think that was gonna happen. I need to do more of it. I've actually become too polite here.
You think you're softening with older age?
No, I think I was soft in the Midwest. Like some of the shit that I look back at, I'm like, why did I tolerate that? I should have, whatever. But
Go to California. They'll change you up. They'll faken you a little
I
bit.
don't know if that's gonna. That's like the Midwest with sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to like a stop sign, they're like, oh, and then like occasionally they get New Yorker, and then I get my New Yorker comes out, and then it's like this weird clash of like, are we on TMZ right now? What's happening?
Oh, so you got to go back to New York.
I don't know if I even want to go there. That's almost like too much.
Yeah. You ever miss it?
Yeah, I was just there. I always miss it, but I don't know. I don't know if I could do it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How would you? People tell me New York is like Chicago on steroids.
It is.
I still haven't been there.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. It is like it's steroids for sure.
Yeah. Like I think
my ongoing joke is people in New York just say what people in the Midwest are thinking. We hold it all in here and bottle it up until we write a long Facebook post or have some weird passive aggressive blowout. We're in New York, like, or New Jersey, like the East Coast, like you're gonna know right away. You know? So
I like that. Maybe I would like that.
You should go visit.
Because like I've really the only major city I've been to is here. I came pretty much straight from Michigan, and I think what it was that like that Midwestern energy in a major city. It was kind of just like home but bigger, and so I felt. And also, I just have observed like Chicago really does embrace art, and that's a big thing that drew me here too. Is Chicago seems to be a very artistic city. Genuinely, like it seems like the city genuinely wants it, and the people in the city recognize that, and they genuinely embrace it. And that's something that to me is just like that's what creates creativity, is that feeling in the air and people being honest about it. Whereas like I don't know if I went to another major city I would feel those things. I feel like it's gonna be I'm gonna be a little bit of a fish out of water. Whereas here it's kind of like it's just a step away. It's a step out of the but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just inexperienced and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Gotta get out there. Just
exactly.
Go feel it out. See how you like it. I think LA, it's like a lot of TikTokers and people are always trying to be viral.
Yeah.
New York, it's a little more behind the scenes, but they're, people are hustling, but like they're very like committed, especially with stand up.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're all nuanced, different worlds. Here, we don't really have any industry. So people are always trying to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Whether that's a drama in the scene, a Facebook post, a controversial take,
you
whatever
don't
they
have
can
that.
do to like stay visible. And it's like,
and in other places where there's more of an industrial backbone, you don't have to do
they're
those
playing
things.
a little bit safer because they're hoping to be seen by industry and people that can change their careers.
Interesting. Right.
Not just get booked, on a local bar show.
Yeah.
So,
All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure. At the very end of this episode, we always do the same thing. One, the social medias. You got to tell the people where they can find you, okay? So they got to know because they've listened to us for this long. They might as well enjoy a little bit more. If you hate on him in the comments, you have heard the consequences, okay? I cannot protect you. And second...
And this cat will not protect you either.
Yeah. Look at her. She ain't doing nothing.
My guard cat.
Yeah. She's only here for now. She will be gone, and he will... Elbows.
Elbow, punch, block.
Report. And last but not least, the message for the children. The show's obviously for 3 to 5 year olds, and so the kids are on the school bus. They're about to get off the school bus. They're going to take off. The kids got AirPods now. They're going to take out their AirPods, and they're going to enter the world, the universe, the beautiful thing that is reality. And so what you're going to do is you're going to give them advice that they can take into reality and make their life better. I don't know what it is. There's something inside of you. There's a little idea inside of that noggin, behind those glasses, behind those Pacino eyes. I don't know what it is. A big ass.
Oh, advice
For the kids.
The same advice that my mom always gave me. Don't take shit from anyone.
It worked. she did you a justice. Kids, stand up for yourself, kids.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because I'll say I have never liked bullies. I was the one kid who would say something. If I saw a kid getting bullied, I did not give a fuck. Like I would stand up for the other kid. I would, because that's the lamest thing you could possibly fucking do.
Well, most times when you do something, people don't really do anything.
Yeah, they just look at you like, that's what always happens. If you stand up for somebody being bullied, the bully will look at you like, huh? That's what happens. They don't have, they've never received that response before.
I never really kept my mouth quiet.
Yep. And you'd because people always have this idea like, oh, I can't do that. I don't want to like disrupt the social order.
I can't physically do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't physically do it.
I can't. Like if somebody says something that's like, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Even back, in high school, I remember I was with my friend, and then we were doing like a sleepover, and his brother came out, and he was the captain of the football team. He was not like a big dude, but he was bigger. It was all the football team in the background. He's like, what are you hanging out with your fucking loser friends? And he just went like that on my head, and I just shoved him. And he just came out of nowhere. I just shoved him. And he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he swung at me, and I ducked, and I tackled him, like, because I'd been wrestling at the time, and I tackled him. And they all yelled out because they knew my sister. And he goes, "Oh my God, little Bonazzo's kicking his ass." And I'm pretty sure he manhandled me after that, but like, he didn't like beat me up. And he got up, and he was all pissed. His hat was all messed up, and he pushes me, and he goes, "Control your friends, Sean." I'm like, "But why don't you control me?" So it was like a proud moment. And we went to sleep that night at like 3 a.m. And my friend just rolls over and he goes, "You tried to fight Sean Royals." And he just started, and we all just started laughing because I was like, what do you think? The kid was huge.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just always been my motto, is just don't start anything but never back down.
Yeah, that's great, man. And then the social medias.
Oh, comedian trainer on pretty much all platforms. Not Megan Trainer, comedian trainer, comedian
with an E, trainer with an E.
Trainer.
Trainer. If you can't spell comedian, don't look him up.
Is comedian with a K or with a C? Yeah. Do I wear boots running, or what do I do?
If you stand for nothing, or what is it? I'm gonna fuck it up now. If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. Okay. That's a good
Except
quote.
if you're Wyatt, because his ankles hurt from wearing combat boots on a 5K.
Training for the military. What the fuck? It's possible. I can tell you guys it's possible. I don't know how...
I got the gout. Yeah. I got to amputate.
Literally, that's what it felt like, dude. My knees were like this.
Oh, my God.
I was messaging people like, wow, starting to run is hard.
Hashtag the journey. That could be a funny, fake parody Instagram account. Where you're like, running's hard. It's just you jogging outside in boots. Like, why does my knee feel like this?
It's doing shit wrong.
No days off. Just got to keep training harder.
You know what's funny?
Just you in the gym with your boots doing leg curls.
That would get probably more engagement than if I did it right. Like
the bad influencer, the bad fitness influencer. The shitness influencer.
Ooh, shitness influencer. That might be the name of the account right there.
That have to be my new thing.
Is it taken? Probably not.
I'm gonna go start doing videos like that.
And honestly, I was gonna say earlier too that even if you did, like, a good angle to take would be like, hey, people are telling you this. They are wrong, you know, because like that is a big a big angle that I'll see people like fitness people take, or like, you know, don't do this, like, you know, because it is like a bunch of just, like you said, 14-year-olds who just learned something that are just spreading misinformation and breaking people's backs.
I did do a funny video where I was like how to fix low back pain, and I laid on my stomach, and then I pushed myself up, and then I pushed myself up into a push-up position, and then I just started air humping the ground. So like somebody at home is like pushing. How do I do that? Push up. And then their wife is walking in. He's just like humping the ground just to fuck with people. But I think people were more annoyed. They're like, I really wanted that back tip.
Yeah, I'm really turned on, but I don't feel better.
What are you watching?
And with...
He's the shitness influencer.
The shitness influencer. Coming at you soon, 2026. With all that being said, folks...
Radio.
Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture that they